Incoming transmission.
Welcome to Saving Star Trek, a show talking about one of my favorite shows, Enterprise. I am Linda Park. I play Hoshi Sato and also Empress Sato. So enjoy this show. I love that it's finding a whole new life on the streaming services. And you better hit that like button or Empress Sato will not be happy. I mean, she could make a storm happen, and she could really make your life hard. Anyways, enjoy the show, hit that like button, and thank you for being a fan of Enterprise.
Thank you, beautiful Linda Park. Hello, YouTube. Hello, X. And hello, everybody ready to go over on Bumble. Hey, out there, what's going on? It is Saving Star Trek, and we have an episode. That's the best way to put it, right, guys? Tonight, basically, we have an episode for you.
It was on
an episode
TV.
Of Star Trek.
It does identify as an episode, yes.
There's a beginning, a middle, and an end of a video audio signal. I think that's all that qualifies is needed for Paramount Plus these days, but hey. Sorry, the mountain people.
The mountain people. Yes. You know what? I see people coming in. Do me a favor. Tweet out that we're live. Let people know I'm here. I don't know particularly how many people are at any one given place. I'll keep refreshing back and forth. If you're over on the Green Band, there is a link in the description. If you are on X, there is a link in the description. And Ruby, in the pinned post. And Ruby Hoove is here. Ruby Hoove likes to helicopter in early and always is so sweet with the memberships. Thank you so much, Ruby. It's so nice of you to gift another membership to the channel. I hope you'll be hanging out. I don't know how long you'll be here, but I'm glad I saw it right away before I got into our pitch for this week and what's going on to get everyone authorized and organized and ready. But hello, Miskatonic Madman. It's good to see you too. Let me see who got that membership. As I pull up the various mediums.
Ben.
Oh,
the membership.
Thank you on behalf of Dan Ben, and welcome. And you know it was great. If you had a membership, as Snowdub does, you could see the member video that I made supporting Snowdub, because what I really did support my man Snow. I went to the mat. I don't know if you guys saw that. I didn't go crazy or anything like that. It was the truth. He was the best at what he was doing, and I feel that he was punished unfairly, and I think that he didn't do anything wrong. First of all, if you're going to put your face out there and attach a belief to it and say a bunch of things, it's like a baseball leaving a stadium to a degree, right? So if you're going to go out there and cope or gloat, someone will harvest it, and they will, make an interesting and provocative react video, which, hey, Lombardi 1969, which we got from Snowdub. Does anyone know the videos in question? You guys know what happened to Snowdub?
I did. Yeah, and I think what happened...
I don't know.
People voluntarily went on TikTok melting down without using the terms for what was on. People of the blue persuasion went on TikTok and other places and started fucking melting down. So with a free pass to use it on YouTube, because it's not on YouTube, but no problem there. He took these people who willingly went online, and he basically showed them being themselves. And he used the dark art of editing to get a great video and make some great reacts to it and make some great liberal tier stuff. And he put on a lot of subscribers very, very fast. And he was doing fantastic. It was great to see Snow just rocketing through like the trouble zone, because like 2,000 to 5,000 is like the most troubling time for everybody. And then like getting up to 10 is like when they kind of start getting on your side. So like for me right now, we're in the suppression zone a little bit. So, and we've been friend zoned a little bit by the algorithm, but Snowdub had found a way around that.
And I would know.
We know what the friend zone.
Yes.
Well,
Yes.
we saw the one thing last week, which was very kind of upsetting. Was we had was it Section 31 or no? It was both really, but it was yesterday's Enterprise. Guys, if you haven't seen yesterday's Enterprise, check it out. But they'll do this here on YT. What happens is it'll start to shoot up, and all of our views are in the first hour, and then like the next 30 views are from the ensuing 2 days. It would take 120 views in the first couple of hours, and then they cut it off, and I had to go to social media and try to bail it out a little bit, and we got somewhere. But YouTube, ever since they kind of got on me, they've not been as friendly towards your buddy the Admiral, and I see we have a couple people on.
It's rigged.
It might be. And I know also they listen to AI transcripts, especially early in the show. But here's what we did. I think I got them figured out. I turned on and then off the monetization. And Ruby Hoove is a member now. Thank you, Ruby. You look beautiful in green. You look beautiful in green. So I was just taking a little sip of water there. So here's what we're going to do. We have a great group of people. We're kind of spread out between military history. We got the world of Taylor Sheridan and Yellowstone, and we got the people who dig Star Trek. What's great is a lot of people dig all three, and that, I guess, is the core of cores. But a lot of the Yellowstone people don't care about Star Trek. A lot of the Star Trek people don't care about Yellowstone. We're going to get there. Too. It's good to be diverse, too. It's good to be diverse. And I think that we had, by far, the best coverage of both Section 31 and yesterday's Enterprise. The review deserved no more than that unhinged rant. It deserved no more than that unhinged rant. The yesterday's Enterprise watch party, we had people back 2 times in 19 hours. We were back there doing it. We were thorough with both. And we had a great time with yesterday's Enterprise, and that upload is strong, and that got 140, 150 views in a few hours. And then what happened? They rigged it. It was a fix the whole time. It was, let me tell you something. All of a sudden, I'm doing really good, and what do? They fix it. It's rigged.
Once you think you're out, they pull you back in.
What started this was I dared to use my platform to tell the truth about something that happened in my hometown, and all I did, guys, was I waited for the end of the trial. I waited for 2 verdicts to come in, and I said, this is how I feel about what happened 8 months ago. And I don't think that was too hot or too unmeasured, but hello to everyone who's here, and we have a great episode tonight, and I guess we should start setting that up. We have an episode called Dead Stop. Okay. Before
real
we
quick,
get into it,
speaking about hot and unmeasured, folks, we were backstage in the green room before, and Teague, he was like a regular. We were all amped to come in tonight, by the way, but he was a regular Bill O'Reilly. He things were going haywire backstage, and he was like, "F it, we'll do it." We'll do it live. And I was like, okay, we're going to have a show.
Put on Hoshi. We'll do it live.
So we are excited to be here. We're not just saying that. This is
Needless to say, I broke right through the anti-crazy pills I took before the show. All right. Sean, JT, hang on and get ready for the guessing game that begins every show. And guys, if you know this one, and Sean, keep an eye, I guess, on the chat. And I'm looking over at X. I'm gonna go right now and fire the X up directly. It shows up. I feel like one of the Blues Brothers when I go look at my X broadcast. It's like I like to turn the X broadcast on and endorse it on the dashboard of the car so that I can see the people chatting to me. And it's not always the easiest way to. Okay, now I think it's formatted right, and I'll see your chats on X when they come through. So X, I'm watching you, baby. And our buddy RRTNZ is here. When the Kurgan howled, it's Nazgul time, and tried to kill Eowyn, but Mary cried, "Get away from her, you bitch!" and shanked him with a Kry's knife, so Lara Croft could lightsaber his head off. I cried. RTN said that is freaking great, man. Why am I holding back? That was fucking great. We're trying the part of the program that we turn into the upload. We'll stop cursing right now, guys. How about it? Curse your fucking heads off. Hello, motherfuckers. How you doing? Welcome to my show. And it's good to see people showing up over on Stumble, and it's good to see people on X starting to filter in. Hello to all of you, and nice showing on YouTube. Lombardi 1969 is here. John the Beagle Dad, Ruby Hoove, the 4 acknowledged Ruby Hoove. Thank you so much for that membership. Miskatonic is here. Miskatonic Madman. When I see the avatar, I'm always like, if I met Miskatonic Madman and World's Oldest Gamer, would I be able to tell them apart? They both kind of, like, I picture like both of them being like kind of Keanu Reeves. Like when I would meet them, like both of them would be Keanu Reeves. It's got something to do with the avatars. And I love them both.
I feel like you'd run into them, and you would need a particular set of skills.
One would be like Neo, and one would be like John Wick. And like the one that was like Neo would be like, both of us maybe went a movie too far, and the other one would be like, yeah, we did. But that's a different story. But I still enjoy that. We're still tech talking. Yeah, and I think our sound is kind of beautiful tonight compared to other nights.
I hope so.
We struggled to make that upload listenable. I hope, guys, do us a favor. We all really put in a big effort on the upload for yesterday's Enterprise. And listen, it is like 20 minutes of pure, unadulterated, hard-hitting Star Trek. And it really is piling on the subscribers per view. Like there's like 200 or something views of this one, 250 views of this. Like something like 35 people have joined off of that video.
That's
so
great.
Yesterday's, and I forgot to put the part on at the end where they say please, where I say please join. Well, you know what I think really might have been the moment, and I think this is a peak moment when I looked at it, was the moment where I played the music and our reaction to the end of the episode and showed the ship going back. It was like, oh God, it was like we were both all like just sort of primal screaming how glad we were it was to see a good and worthy story after what we'd been through, which was a bad and unworthy story the night before. But you know what? Here we go. The original air date of this was 10/9/2002, so October 9th, 2002. The number one song of 2002 was, and I'm not even going to make people guess, it's so vague. Ready? Dilemma by, I'll give a little bit of guessing. You get a clue. Dilemma by
Linkin Park?
Nelly.
Nickelback.
Oh. Okay.
Nelly. And we have the number one song was Dilemma by Nelly. Number one movie in the United States, released on Wednesday. It was released that day. I guess it had a long premiere. Wednesday, October 9th, 2002, was Red Dragon.
Oh. Okay.
Good movie.
Yeah.
I don't think I've ever seen it.
It's pretty good. It's the same book that Manhunter was made into, but from a totally different point of view, if I have it right. It's a good movie. It's Philip Seymour Hoffman's really good in it. I think, who's the killer? Who plays Hannibal Lecter? It's a Hannibal Lecter story.
Yes, it is.
But it doesn't have most of the other people you're familiar with.
It's not Anthony Hopkins.
No, it's a prequel. RRTNZ. Also, Dead Stop is a crappy PG Snowpiercer. Is there a Dead Stop movie that's like Snowpiercer? Or are you saying that this episode in itself is like kind of like a Snowpiercer? I would say this episode might exist in the uncanny valley. So we all know what $1 worth of gas was worth. But Sean, do you know what a gallon of gas cost on October 9th, 2002?
2002?
Or JT?
Well, let me see. We had gone into the Middle East again.
And thank you, by the way, my friends. I really truly appreciate the support.
Was it about $1.25?
I'm gonna say $2.15.
No, JT was closer. It was last week, if you remember, last episode, which was a while ago now, and like three shows ago. It was $1.14.
Okay.
It's up to $1.44. It is extremely fucking volatile. So a gallon of gas up 30 cents in a week, or at least in the time between episodes. They might have been off for a football game or hockey or whatever the hell they had. In tragic news, Eileen Warmus passed away on this day in Rayford, Florida. Are you familiar with her? She was immortalized in film by Charlize Theron in the movie Monster. Yeah, she passed away in the electric chair.
Oh, well, that's a shock.
Yeah, it sure was. Okay, so there was a major TV debut, and I don't know if you guys geeked. Do you know what this show was on up and what this debuted against the same night?
I guessed
I hear
earlier,
an echo.
but
Guys, do you hear an echo?
Your
guess was lost. It was a valuable guess. It might be a StreamYard's anomaly. Your guess was lost. It seems like that was reasonable, but no, that was not the premiere. Can you guess?
24.
You're close, but here's the thing: it's not scripted TV. You're viable guesses, but it's not scripted. It's reality TV. Remember what year it is? And it was
Big
on
Brother.
at night.
Big Brother?
The Osbournes season 2.
Oh, okay.
I watched the Osbournes. I watched the Osbournes.
Was not into that.
Yeah, you know what? I was a big fan, but the thing is, I always loved Ozzy's music, and I love Black Sabbath. I'm a huge, huge fan. So what can I tell you? On to the episode, and then I watched Star Trek on Sunday because they did such a bad job of getting out the fact that it was on at any other time. I thought it was still on at the old regular Star Trek time, the appointed Star Trek time from years ago. All right, so here we go. This episode's concept developed around, okay, cool, good news about that on YouTube. So the episode's concept was developed around during work on the previous episode, Minefield. By the way, there's recess sharing between 4 episodes at once. Like every episode that exists up till now from this season is in production at once. Like they're finishing up. Don't ask me how, but they're finishing up Shockwave. I guess they went home for the summer and finished it. I don't know. Maybe it was just special effects. They needed a reshoot or some scenes for Shockwave. So Shockwave was being worked on when they were making this one. Minefield was being worked on when they were making this one. This one was being worked on when they were making this one. And whatever comes next was being worked on was when they made this one. So it was a real harrowing shoot. It took an extra couple of days because they were doing so much at once. But we could regard that as a long work week rather than like being stranded on this episode, so to speak. They were doing, a lot of production. So it was just, they weren't available as much figures in too. So the goal here, and Brandon Braga and John Chabon wanted to show the ship's lingering damage rather than resetting everything immediately. And the goal was continuity while allowing both episodes to function as standalone stories, which I would argue they do. But I would just ask you guys this, are we being too non-episodic already? Or is
I don't think so.
Closed off enough?
I think this was a perfect way to show an ongoing journey without having the episodes relating to each other too much. This was still very much an episodic story. The damage incurred from the last one led to this one, but the two stories are totally independent. They could have just started this episode with, "Hey, we ran into an asteroid and got some damage," and now this one I think was the perfect amount.
After what I thought was perfection, we have like StreamYard's weirdness. I wasn't hearing you there for part of that. Were you moving your head around?
No.
Ooh, uh-oh.
We were
Another
getting a
anomaly.
Doppler effect.
Yeah. You know what, guys? Bear with us here. Here's the thing. I don't feel so bad. Every StreamYard's podcast I've listened to has had this. We heard Doomcock having problems. We saw the Critical Drinker having problems on Thursday, where he had to have Chris Gore coach him through because Chris Gore had the same problems earlier. So we are, guys. I'm sorry. The one thing we've avoided is hypersonic, and that is the worst cardinal sin. And against audio, we do our best, and I'm going to be honest.
We do mic checks.
Yeah,
Every
and
time.
we have thrown nothing but money at this too, so
Yeah.
it's a little
Yeah.
frustrating. We got the best software to stream with, we got the best microphones we could get, and we got the best audio decks we could get. And what do? We had to go back and get mediocre ones, while everyone that's high end equipment gets its problems worked out because it had a bad software week. The top of line software on sale. Yeah, caveat emptor. You don't have to be a lawyer to know that one. Hey, Gavin.
To answer your question there, Admiral,
Sorry, we're passionate about giving you a great show. Sorry. Sean,
We
you
are.
sound better now.
Okay, thanks.
I agree with Sean on this. I think they split the baby, and it actually worked on this. If you really want an example of one story relying on the next, we've got a Zindi storyline for you.
Oh, that's true.
This,
And we blow it off
I have no
sometimes.
problems with it. You could watch this out of order, and it would be fine. I mean, sure, okay, they have damage. That could happen 5 minutes before the episode starts. That's fine. I think it's loosely connected enough that it doesn't really take too much away from this. At least I've watched this
Jonathan
episode
Davis.
in isolation enough without starting again at the beginning with Shockwave.
Yeah, because you didn't need to know how the damage happened. Like, hey, last
Precisely.
week we got
That
screwed
is
up.
true. And we talk about Malcolm's leg in the sick bay, I think.
Well,
I think someone does.
it
I
could
think
be-
the globulin eel goes on Malcolm's leg or whatever it may be.
but I mean, this isn't the first time that a character's been injured on Trek. It's a trope now at this point that Miles O'Brien wrecks his shoulder in a kayaking expedition. every single
he
time.
wrecked it when that was an excuse. A kayaking expedition. Is that what you call telling Keiko she's wrong? That's a code word for it. Told Keiko she was wrong.
Oh,
He's like, why don't you go make me some haggis? The next thing you know, he's flying across the room.
oh, Miles.
Oh, Miles. It's good to see everybody here. Listen, this episode, I wasn't. It hit safely, and I actually didn't finish my production notes. I was going to say, welcome back, director Roxanne Dawson. Rosario Dawson.
Directed
God,
this
thank
one?
God we charged that for. Roxanne Dawson directed this one. It's her third time directing Enterprise. She's turning into something of a series regular. This time, in fact, I think it was Braga. We'll get to that one. Dawson also provides the voice of the repair station, but she's uncredited. An actress was initially hired for the computer voice, but Rick Berman mistakenly thought Dawson had done it and asked her to record instead. She was hesitant, fearing her voice would be too recognizable, but Berman convinced her. She praised the episode's concept and was pleased with the final product. The station's design was inspired by 2001: A Space Odyssey. You'll feel that. They nailed it.
Oh, yeah.
Featuring a clean, sterile aesthetic. Their little break room wasn't very 2001, but everything else in the ship is.
Well, except for the air filter.
The HEPA filter we see.
Yes, yes.
Yes. So, like I said, this one took longer than usual to film, over a week and a half, due to resource sharing, though. There was nothing particularly devastating about how this episode went down. No one had to be submerged in water or anything like that. So they were doing 4 episodes at once. Visual effects supervisor Dan Curry filmed minefield ship shots with Dominic Keating during this production, which meant they had to stick a stake through his leg. How did they hurt him and unheal him all over and over? And Dominic Keating's devotion to his craft for being speared through the leg over and over for those retakes after they were I don't know how it's maybe they do have a denobulin. The same type of station appears in the novel Rise of the Federation, Uncertain Logic, where it is identified as belonging to the Ware. Honestly, I thought this came from the people from Arsenal of Freedom. Anybody else? Okay. I felt like this was strongly related to the Arsenal of Freedom people. If anybody was going to make a station like this, you know what I mean?
Oh yeah, it could be like the same group of aliens.
Yeah, like first of all, like when we see their planet, right? But going back to TNG, guys. There's a TNG episode in season, is it 1? Because there's no beard on Riker, but that's both season 1 and 2. But there's no beard on Riker, right? He's got no beard in Arsenal of Freedom. In Arsenal of Freedom, they come across a planet. Is it the Arconans, the Iconans, or the Harkonnens? The Iconians?
Iconians, I think.
They come across a planet that is one of the many like ancient species that was out there, and we see a guy who later shows up as a Bond villain. It's a famous actor, and what it is it's just a Barker program. Like, hi, you're looking at the new HP computer. You should buy it right now. It's like something like that. And he just basically appears and tries to sell you weapons. And you're like, if you don't agree to buy the weapons, like it starts to demonstrate by attacking you, assuming that you want, like you just want a demonstration. So basically, some of them go down to the planet. Some of them stay there. They've lost the USS Potemkin. Is that the one?
Yeah, that was the one with Vincent Schiavelli. I had to look up that guy's name. He was the peddler in that one.
He's in a lot of stuff. He sort of reminds me of like a boring version of Groppler, a coked up version of Groppler Zorn.
Yeah. I'm looking at his filmography. It's huge. Got an enormous filmography.
He's in the best my favorite Pierce Brosnan movie, Tomorrow Never Dies. He kills Superman's girlfriend.
Oh, right. We freeze here.
So
I don't know.
You have
Deke,
beamed back in.
Okay. We had subspace interference, I believe.
No, I don't know what it was. It might have been the fact I was here, but like I walked away like momentarily. Like the apartment's not that, the mansion isn't that huge, guys. So I walked away like to the fridge and grabbed just like a Coke. And when I got back, like I was silent while I was. And when you finish your thought, I was in the middle of taking a sip. There's no way to answer without spitting soda on my mic. So I figured take the hit and moment of silence. So there was an actress hired that had Roxanne Dawson do it. The station's design was based on 2001. Dominic Keating had his leg bisected by that mine over and over that week, and he was just down for it anyway. Good actor. The same type station appears in a novel. I don't know if anyone read it, but to me it seems like, I was saying, JT, this one seems like the only planet we've ever seen in all of Star Trek that would have a base like this would be the people from Arsenal of Freedom.
Yes. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Definitely. Especially the rate that they were able to create things. I'm thinking of the probe.
The deeply transactional way they wanted to do it. Like, give us stuff now. We want, like, it's in that episode, though, in Arsenal of Freedom, and spoiler, I'm so sorry, guys, in about 6 years we're going to get to this episode, but spoiler, in Arsenal of Freedom, when we get there, what's going to happen is the solution to their problem is just to say, yes, we'll buy it. It was like the RoboCop solution. Dick, you're fired. Dick Jones, president of Mars. Well, how you doing, buddy boy?
They should have sold them the schematic to the good ship Lollipop.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, that's what Riker. Yeah, she's a good ship. Hey, before we show the show, I just have to I have to brag about this because my wife made this wonderful dinner today.
Let's see it. So we can all be hungry. Grab your snacks, guys.
Oh yeah, there it is.
Oh, I had this basically the same thing though.
Look at that. That's all handmade. That's all like hand fried shells, fresh salsa, pickled onions with habanero, boiled beans and rice. Oh my god,
that's so delicious! I would go to town on that.
It's so good.
Yes,
I basically eat tacos like 3 times a week.
Yeah, but these weren't ground beef Tex-Mex junk that we get. This was like I have round steak that she boiled.
but that is like, listen, it's never going to touch that. But I can get a high quality taco at the street trucks here because it's such a good place for that. I mean, you know what I mean? If you don't make a good taco, you'll be competed out of business. And I go to the Colombian taco guy, but man, does that place make a great
that comes
taco.
with some cocaine, right?
Exactly. Little Medellin, I mean, little cocaine. Hey,
You always
Mark
leave
Harkness is here.
feeling a little bit pepped up. Yeah.
Bolivian marching powder. Let's see if I got to the end of my production notes. Here we go. The same station appears in the novel. Oh, by the way, it had an average of 5.4 million viewers, way up. Remember that was like struggling to get like 4.3. Now it's like 5.4. So it's gone up every week. I would just say we might not have showed them the greatest episode. It's not the worst, but there's some issues with this one.
And a show
let's see.
would be ecstatic to get those numbers now.
Yeah.
Ecstatic.
Right.
That's what, like 14 times higher than Batwoman, and they still kept making that.
Yeah, you know what? But Batwoman like bounced back from the hate watching. Like EFAP did that. Like when a show can get 20,000 people to watch their show live, and they go live to watch your terrible piece of garbage, people are gonna watch it just so they can hear their reactions. I was syncing it up with them. That was some great TV. All right, guys. So here we go. Like plot synopsis time. Archer's dumb decision. All right. So here's what we've got. Archer and his crew get themselves stuck in a mess. Big surprise. After waiting 4 days in a minefield, they finally decide to ask for help. A Tellarite freighter points them to some high-tech repair station that promises to fix everything fast. Sounds too good to be true? Yeah, probably. Of course, the crew can't resist poking around where they shouldn't, and things start getting weird. Then there's a little sneaking, a little spying, and before you know it, they're in way over their heads. The station just isn't some friendly mechanic shop. It's got secrets. Let's just say those secrets are very, very personal. Archer and his team scramble to set things right, but naturally, nothing goes smoothly. There's deception, unexpected discoveries, and because why not a race against time, which JT I'm sure will make note of when we talk about it later. By the end, it's clear that some problems just don't go away quietly. Whatever else it may be, it's still going to be a great watch party. Get your snacks ready because we're going to find out together if this one has all the drama, all the tension, and the right amount of what the hell were they thinking energy to make for a good episode. All right, guys, are we ready for Star Trek? As I
Full
try
stop.
to fire up.
We are ready. Full stop. I mean,
cool.
Dead
Well,
stop.
Full speed ahead. I'm just every time I turn on CBS to do this, their regular network programming is usually it's like it's a crime show about a tragedy, and it's just like it's taken them forever. Like they have to wait for all adjudication to be over, and it's just like it's like right now it's just like the sad tale of Natalie Holloway. It's like Natalie Holloway's going to show up 45 somewhere and be like, "Y'all been defaming me. I want my money."
yeah.
All right, everybody. So, hey, look at that. Is it me or is that Dadman walking? Hello, Dadman. It's good to see you.
Yeah,
Go
he's
to
passing
Nicole.
through.
Still
Feeling a little
sick.
under the weather.
Ooh, God,
Yeah.
feel better. Oh, does he have the popular numbered designer thing of choice?
I don't believe so. But you know,
Does he
this time
have
of
the
year,
Kong flu.
yeah, it's going around.
It is
The quickening, we could call it the quickening.
The
I
sickening.
don't think.
The quickening
the
is
algorithm
safe.
hates that.
They'll figure it out soon enough.
Well, that's the DS9 version.
Wait, hold on. Yeah, I was thinking. Oh God. I paused it in time for us to watch it. We all experienced this last week, so now we can have a few laughs together. We've got everybody's favorite. As I look over my shoulder at X, I feel like a pitcher keeping the man on third because I have my laptop behind me on X. I just keep looking. I was like, just have to keep him close. You know, I can't let him steal on me. X, I'm here for you. It's just that it takes two devices to get this. We have the commercial for section 31, so we can see. You guys could all see the straight up nonsense garbage that we had out there. And by the way, our yesterday's Enterprise watch party couldn't have been a bigger success. I thank everybody for that one. And wow, the upload did great. It did so great that YouTube did its usual thing and stopped showing people like as fast as it could. That got as many views as it got impressions. That's how uncool YouTube was about that. Not that the everyone who got shown it watched it. Like most, that was rescued by everybody who tweeted. So if you could tweet out for us that we're live now, that would help too. So let me just get the Cosme Theater in order. Smoking in the last 9 rows only, please. So here we are. We spared you this, but if you wanted to, you could see it. Look at Michelle Yeoh. Nerdrotic and Chris Gore seem to be maybe going off each other's commentary, but I think I caught them say, "Grandma." I think both of them said it. Grandma gets drunk and dresses up like a hooker. Mine was Grandma confuses her meds.
Yeah, Nerdrotic said that, I believe, right?
I think Chris Gore said it too. If whether one got it from the other or they conferred or whatever, I don't think they're going to go after each other. They seem to be friends.
It was the correct answer on the test, so right, they could both have it.
All right. So by the way, so this is how cornball this is.
Oh, real quick.
What are you doing on my station? Hey, Lemon Pie, our friend. It's good to see you, Lemon Pie. Let me pull up the comments so I can see who's coming through as they come through. Ain't no pie like lemon pie. Hail Admiral Teague. We're gonna have that's our musical episode. I'm gonna sing all the comments one day, because that would still be better than the lyrics of the songs that they had on the Subspace Rhapsody, the stupidest thing ever. All right, so here we go. This is the Section 31 trailer. We can spend an hour on this alone.
Let's not, though.
There is a skip button. You see the skip button?
I think
it's on the
here's
right.
my point. We only have a mediocre to low high end episode. It's not the greatest episode of Enterprise. So if we show this first, it's going to go up a full grade. Everyone's going to stick around for the watch party a lot more. And by the way, whether or not the episode is great, the watch party will be fun. I promise.
Discord pointed out that her fighting, she looks like an old lady fighting.
Oh, she does. It was so
or
bad.
she was doubled for it.
Either way.
Right? But yes, I agree. They also pointed out the windmill should have had some material to it, just like we did. Like some of these things, like we didn't scoop him. That was this obviously flawed.
Like I said,
wait.
It's the correct answer to the math test, right?
So for all our friends, yes. For all our friends who come along later, we're going to stop this now. We're at 000, which is unusual for this format. Usually it starts us at 2 seconds, but we're at 000. Screen's completely black. The Enterprise Season 2, Episode 4. So this means it's Episode 30 altogether and Story 28. Am I right, guys?
I will believe what you said.
Story 27B, because it's really, it's not that strong related. It's Story 28. All right, here we go. 3, 2, 1, and action. This episode is 43 minutes and 16 seconds long, and that looks so cool right away.
Oh, we need the language of the colonizers.
Sorry, guys. I'll restart
There's
it.
so many colonizers to choose from.
They at least have given us English U.S. At least they've admitted that English is from the U.S. It says English U.S., so it cites the country of origin. Because I've listened to some of these people in these other countries, and they're speaking American. I can understand them. There's no way they're speaking a different language. But it's good to see. When are we going to start watching Discovery? Woo! Basically, Section 31 counts as watching Discovery. It's a spin-off. We did last week. We'll continue tracking the enemy.
If you,
all right, let's start over
paid
from
us
0.
enough, we would do a separate show.
I have another channel now called Saving Star Trek. We could watch it on there.
That's going to be like a considerable sum. Like
But here's the thing: I will not do it at the damage of Star Trek. I could have had a bigger splash on my watch party if I'd called it the Star Trek watch party before I put it on. I changed it afterwards.
I love what you put in Cosme there, buddy.
What did you put?
Look at the picture of West Giggle.
Oh,
in a TOS
wow, yeah,
uniform.
it's pretty good CGI. She's a little too pixelated for me to really enjoy it all out. But you know what? Let me start the episode. Here we go in 3, 2, 1, and action. Thanks everybody for bearing with us. Right away, it looks really cool.
Yeah.
Spent a lot of money on this one.
Better CGI than the modern day stuff.
Oh, by far.
Yes.
And it was not overly ambitious. They did what they did great. This looks great.
And I love that they're sitting in here, and that's obviously a green screen on the other side of that glass, right? But
no,
it
they
was very
shrank
well
Tripp
done.
and Archer down tiny, like in Journey to the
Starship.
Center of your
Starship Mine, was it? In other words.
Yeah, here's the thing. They can't get a ship out there that can repair them. There's not a warp 3.5 ship.
There
or
should be
something?
an engineering vehicle or something to help them back.
Is that like begs too many questions, or do we? It makes it sound like they have too much help, or it's a conversation best avoided, right?
Well, I think they counted on being able to call the Vulcans for help if they need to, but in this they explain that away here because the subspace radio is damaged. I cut out again.
No, you're good. We are just, I mean, this starts off pretty good.
Yes.
I am captivated by, their predicament, what will happen, who will answer, all of that. And it doesn't need a MacGuffin. It doesn't need a mystery box. We're just going to have it,
It just had a quite very conveniently placed space station.
Well, we'll get to that.
Yeah.
All please rise or move your caps for the playing of our national anthem.
And when this song's over, we're going to pause the episode and we're going to play Archer's theme so that everybody can be happy.
Right. But who was it?
I've got strength.
Who was
some people
subscriber
kneel
that
during
really
this,
didn't like?
So
What's that, Sean?
Yeah, there was someone in one of the subscribers some time ago was talking about how they really can't stand the theme song.
The song has mixed feelings. Yeah, someone said it was just felt like bad Christian rock. And I was like, believe it or not, it's not Christian rock. I think the guy does Christian rock, though. I was like, actually, it's a decent Rod Stewart song. It's been a long road. All right, guys. Now, this is kind of always an emotional moment for us, the members of the show, because we feel like this show barely failed to get renewed. So we're pausing the episode so that we can enjoy here on your screens for us our YouTube legal version of how it would have gone. That was invigorating. Oh, man. All right. So the episode's at 2 minutes and 59 seconds. 3, 2, 1, and action. Ah, whew, that was brisk, baby. See, look, this is after one of the times I
Which
broke
is
his
funny.
legs.
It's
Yeah,
funny the
it's
way
funny.
they had him.
Wait,
sit
and here
they
comes
said
Reed.
Push.
It's like
one
Tripp's
out.
already had the baby. It's like my doctor. It's unethical to hurt you, but I can inflict as much pain as I want.
Yeah, that was a good line.
He's like, I'm not. Why would I be humane? Not even human.
Yeah, I will say, with the exception of Phlox, every single person in this show is in really good shape.
Oh
Yes.
yeah, we have like our most in shape crew ever. Phlox is there for his knowledge, and he needs to be professorial, so he didn't need to be in shape. Buff Doctor doesn't really make sense anyway when you think about it. The amount of intellectual work you have to do. It's like, if my doctor's super buff, like really fit, I'm like going to another doctor. It's like, where's your mind at? It's like, unless all you do is work out in your off time. It's like, yep, no, I'm not married. All I do is work out and come back to work. It's like, well, I guess it's better than you being on drugs.
I've always thought it was a really good touch they put on the series
freighter,
because
I believe this is the first season.
Think about the first deep space mission that humans would go on. They would be in really good shape, just like our NASA astronauts are in top condition.
By the way, shout out for John the Beagle Dad, who watches on his TV. He has his private collection of Enterprise. And if anybody has a second device you want to watch on, we wouldn't, take you out behind the woodshed for watching us on one device and the episode on another. That's cool too. This is the one thing I don't like. It's like, what do we need? We need Thing. It's like, turns out Thing is here right where we needed it. It's wow.
That's 3.5 days at work too.
Not that close, at least, but
and John the Beagle Dad showed up. I disagree. Casey and the Sunshine Band was pretty good.
Nice set of cans. That's what it looks like, right? Somebody will clip that eventually. when we have 1 million subs on your channel, Admiral, someone will go back and clip that. Good suspense.
Maybe it's Maybelline.
Mystery, uncertainty. It's not a contrived mystery either. It feels real.
Yeah, and it gets resolved rather quickly.
Anyone else feel like that was kind of like a Borg scan with that light flashing?
That, gosh, there was a TNG episode where that happened a few times, and they said like, oh, it was like a soft medical scan or something like that. It's a transformer. So hard not to point out the problems I have with this episode.
Oh, point them out. Point them out.
It's not a bad episode. It's just that it's like,
up to this point, it piles up a little.
Well, there comes Mr. Pride Weather. So,
but I mean, every good Star Trek fan who has seen all of Star Trek up to this point was like, a repair station 2 days away.
Yeah.
It just reconfigures to suit your needs. I'm a little suspicious, right?
I'm looking over at the live chat over there, by the way, on the other networks.
Mm-hmm.
I'm all over it.
That's a good point,
Maybe a few
John.
emojis will wake it up.
Shortly from TOS. Yeah, it's very, very similar.
It's a couple of TOS things put together. I think it's Shore Leave, and I think it's Arsenal of Freedom. Was that an on-air conversation?
This looks
or off?
like
I forget.
maybe
It was on
Alien,
right?
Or
yeah, there's the HEPA filter.
What hallway does this remind you of? Maybe like UFO or Alien.
They said they were going for a 2001 aesthetic, which is influential on those two shows.
2001 vibes from it.
Yeah. Oh, right here. This is a reused prop from Star Trek The Voyager. Does anyone
What,
Is this
recognize
the
it?
astrometrics? Is this astrometrics?
No, this is that intelligent robot
Oh,
from Think Tank.
Juggernaut.
No, from
The
Think
robot.
Tank.
Okay.
Yeah. They've modified it, but it's the same.
That's a great catch.
It is the same prop. They have put dressing on it. I think that was actually a reused prop from an earlier episode of Trek as well, but I remember it most from Think Tank.
The first time it was used was in the episode The Cage. Next scene in the menagerie, mister.
Also, pretty detailed panels here. I appreciate that.
But by the way, I'm not disappointing anyone. One of my favorite things is a slightly angered Kirk, where he's just like, "I'm talking to you, mister." It's one of the funniest moments in all of Star Trek, when you know that Captain Kirk's about to come unglued if you do one more fucked up thing. Bolana Torres.
Your inquiry was not recognized. Tell me the best 3 Star Trek moments from the Infection 31 movie. Your inquiry is not recognized.
The end credits.
Yeah, the fade to black was my favorite.
There were so
favorite
many.
part.
Sean, you and I do enough video editing. How many digital snap focuses were there in there? Whether they snap zoomed?
Oh, God.
Pan crop events. How many pan crop events were there?
The entire movie. It was.
They were using the same editing we use, guys. Like, we are better filmmakers. I'm not fucking around.
And JT
Plasma.
pointed out that they couldn't focus in on a face.
Right. That
think
was
a lot of it
standard
was they
play
had to
for
keep her
disco
face-
as well.
I think they had to keep her face out of picture more. Like, that bad camera work early paid off now, because she wasn't there for most of that.
But that was standard fare for most of Kurtzman Trek was you have to zoom in so close because the CGI on the green screen won't cut it. It just won't be good enough.
I just want to say, guys, give Alan Ang a break. To him, this movie's a 5 because he sees so many shit movies. He was upfront about his Star Trek feelings. He sees some really bad fucking movies, man. He sees a lot of movies, all right? He sees like film project level movies that are even worse than that. So for him, it's fun. Like, a 5 is not a glowing review for him, you know? It wasn't a 5 out of 5.
The thing that really kind of chilled me here watching this last week was that they never gave the schematic. The station just scanned the whole ship, knew how it
They
was
give it to
supposed
anybody.
be.
They don't. Why would it go with their?
Your computer
why would they
was
ever?
hacked.
Why would they
main
ever?
computer.
Why would they ever mind? Think about how they act when Khan has it. They're like, the ship's library computer is here for the Klingons and anyone else who wants to read it.
Oh yeah.
But like the IT security just doesn't exist on their computer. It's just
They're not
clear
cynical
text
enough. You know,
passwords and the like.
you're sounding like a 21st century man who's been through the Bell riots.
Yeah.
You're not thinking about this from a 23rd century perspective.
Mm-hmm.
By the way, where do they get all this plasma? I think it needs to be strongly looked into. It to Paul looking so much better without all the weirdness to, like, have they lost the what do we even call it? The cuirass or whatever, the fiberglass cuirass? Is that gone now?
I don't know, but she's very, very pretty there.
She looks beautiful now, and she looks a lot less unnatural.
Yeah, so here's another kind of hint that they were doing a low budget on this one, because these chairs are like classic things you get at Target.
Oh, well, this was
from their cafeteria, but this is
was
insane.
from the cafeteria, the outdoor furniture. I bet it was going to rain that week, so they're like, no one will miss it.
The crew had lunch in here right afterwards, but like, why would you drink the fucking water? She's the smart one.
I love how they had Archer look under the table where he's like, "Where's the
Was
magic?
the power source.
Like, how did this work?"
Yeah, it was pretty.
Why would you allow these people to eat this food?
Well, craft services brought that in.
That's the one thing. If there is a fault of Archer, he's a little bit too trusting sometimes.
Kirk would be like, "Don't touch any of that. Stay where you are."
Now he would be like, "Yeoman, get over here. Taste test this."
Exactly. Exactly.
And
This
then
is
put this
when the
food
guy-
in your mouth.
This is when like Archer should have been like looked at his duty roster and been like that whatever character is played by McFarlane. It's like, get him out here, have him eat some. That guy's a fuck up.
Yeah, Kirk would have been, Yeoman, taste this. Next, I want you to try this food.
You three men have the beef. You try the poultry. Season
So,
3 and 4, Archer was
at
a
this
wiser
point-
man. I agree. He does. Archer arcs.
At this point, they should be actively discussing how they can buy the technology shown here.
Right.
Yeah,
How this
or
station
replicate it.
exists, and like
Why
the
don't they
Klingons don't
negotiate
try
it?
to capture it.
This little scene here reminds me of Silent Running. The Huey, Dewey, and Louie are fixing him up. It kind of looks like one of those little guys. It's an exocomp. That's what that is.
It does look
Yes,
like an
it
exocomp.
looks like one. I was thinking it, but I went back and looked. The basic shape is the same, but they did not reuse the prop.
Stylistically designed to be that way, though.
Now they did reuse Dell monitors in the hospital bay here.
Dell?
Oh, those
Yeah,
monitors
you
are
can see
Dell
them.
monitors.
It's
You can
so
see the
obvious.
logo on there?
Well,
You can see the black tape over where the logo would be.
yeah, yeah.
If you and I know what that looks like, look for that. You'll see it.
Okay.
It's conspicuous how the logos are not that well covered.
That one there on the wall looks like an HP.
Isn't that funny? Like these little things that they built in over the course of the season, the rattle on the deck plate and the other stuff. This station, that and I think the scrape underneath the saucer section that Trip puts on at the
Yeah, the
first
paint
episode.
scrape. Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
And
Yeah,
the
it
I
pilot.
fixes
didn't
it.
get around to fixing. I can't imagine Trip leaving a superficial flaw on his Camaro. He's a Florida man after all. By the way, guys, one line for this episode, a one line review would be, or two line review would be, Florida man does a drive by and dines and dashes, trashing a roadside greasy spoon, while Pride Weather proves his brain can't be hurt.
Now, I do love this conversation where he is more cautious now than he was in season 1. But then T'Pol's saying, like, well, let's not ask questions.
Admiral Teague, look what I put in the subspace chat.
I need to get slightly better with the photo. You have to do. I have to learn everything. It's my channel, right? So, like, of course, it's on me. I'm only okay at the thumbnails. If my thumbnails were killer, we'd be in a different world of engagement. But you know what? At least we get some.
Now, I look at this through modern day eyes. The production methods that they are thinking about are very early 2000s, but the ability to do 3D printing, even on metals and other things, has come a long way. And so they give timelines like, oh, it would take Jupiter Station a month to do this. And then you see how this thing is working. It's much less
So, like, Jupiter Station would take
magical.
like, yeah. I don't know about a month.
I don't know about that. I think they would take pictures or scans, send them to Jupiter Station, and they'd already have it half built.
They've got 10 years to get ready.
There, yeah.
They got 10 years. That would be a hell of an end for the first warp program from Earth. The Vulcans are like, we can't spare the ships. They're going to have to limp their way back. It's like, we finally got Archer out of the way. It's like the Columbia gets there in 2 years. They're like, oh, guys.
Oh, the Columbia. God, I hated that set for their bridge with that flashing light. Like, I think
you haven't seen Terrible, so you saw the set for Strange New Worlds where JT and I were like laughing. Was it Discovery or Strange New Worlds? We were laughing our asses off where they had the flame howitzers. I was like, why is it
that
fire?
Was Disco season 5 with the propane tank flamethrowers. Yeah,
he reused them again in Section 31. He loves belching fire into the air for no reason.
Yeah, he did. That was Disco season 5, by the way.
How come Trip isn't fascinated by what's going on? By the way. You know what I mean? Like staring down the repair process.
Oh, there it is.
That's very unworldly.
There's the filter.
There we go.
Yeah,
it's clean.
It's not a very good filter either. They were like,
one of those at HEB yesterday.
Find a cheapie.
It was the ones that were using there. They're like, fuck it.
I wonder if the actors ever looked at this. You guys seriously want me to pretend this is some space thing?
I think some episodes were harder to do than others for sure.
Hey, Daniel's Hot Topics is here.
Hey, hello,
Well,
Daniel.
the HEPA filter I have on my furnace is far superior to that flimsy thing. Does that mean my technology level is higher than theirs?
Yeah.
Daniel
we should have done a freeze frame there. We had
Pride Weather shirtless.
Yeah, we had Travis with a shirt off.
Could you imagine if I just like next to creator survey I check off that I'm gay and like we go with the Pride Weather emoji and it's like suffer no consequence for it. All of a sudden like the numbers start spinning up through the roof. And by the way, guys, the Crusader
closed on them. That was a weird choice.
It did. Did we lose the sound?
I don't
this is Paramount Plus,
think
guys,
so.
Not me.
I still hear it.
I hear it.
Oh, I lost my audio. Okay.
I believe that was reused off of a Borg set, but please don't quote me on that.
It was the V'ger orifice.
It's like our franchise has a strong tradition of sphincterism. It's like, really? No, well, no.
A heart.
Hey, West, what's up? Liking the stream helps.
This is a good scene here. This checks the box.
I love the line. Lieutenant Reed is old enough to make his own decisions.
Yeah. But this does check the box of, is it military? Is Archer in command? This is a good character building moment. And like he's gonna dismiss him. He's like, "What'd you find?"
It's like, why didn't you just have DePaul do this the right way? Because she would have said yes.
Like, I don't know, Captain, if I saw anything interesting. My punishment is just making my head spin. I can't get a focus on it.
But by the way, Shades of Newtrek, why is she dumber than a human by drinking that water and stuff right away when we got to the space station?
Oh, hey, Doc the Butcher, on the top of the thing, there's a pinned comment to Cosme. If you click on that,
you can jump there. It's good to see you, Dr. Butcher. Welcome to the program. Welcome in. Guys, if you have a wrench and you see someone new, please welcome them. Welcome them for me. And I'll get a right, because I might not see them for a moment. It's great to see you.
There you go, Doc. I put that in, and welcome to the show.
Thanks, Sean.
This felt a little contrived to me. It's hard to believe that even Prideweather would make this mistake.
Gotta agree. Thanks, guys.
I like the
That's
lighting
Spirit,
there.
Master
I'm
Tonic,
just going to
Mr.
say
Tonic,
that.
thank you.
I like the lighting in this scene. No particular reason. Just makes it feel a little more lived in than some of the TNG sets, where it was very overhead fluorescent lighting kind of look.
Can I be honest? When we thought Prideweather was dead, I was just like, he was this cast's Tasha good.
Yes. Yes. They're like some subsystem Armius deleted him. Yeah. Uh-huh. Okay. This is like the Microsoft AI. It doesn't know how to respond to anything. Copilot. Yeah.
She's not trying. She's trying to sound like someone else, right?
I think so.
We'd only seen her a year earlier, year and a half.
She sounds vaguely familiar to Belana Torres. If you catch her in the right vocal inflection.
Right.
I like this shot here. That's really good direction right there.
I never got that it was Balana, but she does a good voice acting job, and she said, "It's like, is there a Siri at this point? Like, it's very much presaging what's going to happen."
Is there a what now? I missed your question there.
Roxanne Dawson, when she does that, when she's talking to Archer as the station's computer or AI, the voice of its AI, I guess we'd call it now. She's sort of sounds like Siri, and I don't know if that existed
Oh
yet.
yeah.
I think it's like 2-3 more years off.
No, it did not exist for almost another decade. I believe Siri was 2011.
Which means that Roxanne Dawson sounds a bit like Scarlett Johansson.
You may find this disturbing. I have a lack of faith. Oh, Star Wars. No.
You may find this disturbing, but one day I'm going to be doing a cameo for a show called Saving Star Trek about this episode.
Whole career.
Fantastic actress,
moment.
by the way.
What's that?
Fantastic actress.
Oh yeah.
Whether or not she ends up being my favorite character, I always thought that Hoshi was well acted and was fantastic, and I hope she's.
I do,
and
yeah.
yet,
And I think out of all of them, she was like I think the most improved. Like maybe as an actress or a character, maybe both.
I almost feel like she was out of the box, remarkably good though. Like she's definitely like an arc up. Hello, Radioactive. Welcome to the Watch Party.
well, but she has a very authentic way of just speaking and her facial expressions.
Yeah. It had to have been the character then, because she does change.
I want to figure out. I guess I should Google where she was born because she says Star Trek, not Star Trek.
Yeah.
They should have brought in crewman Jim, and then he could have said, "Oh, that's odd. They're dead, Jim." That would have been the perfect. Oh. What a missed opportunity.
Or have them die in like the gym. They're dead in the gym. Damn it.
Yeah. Yeah. What a missed opportunity there.
You heard me. The gym. Damn it.
The corner desk from this era.
We all had that monitor again.
But, yeah.
It's a little too our world at that time. It now looks slightly dated.
This does too, with the background. It looks like push pins or push tacks. I don't think they would have had that.
They're magnetic.
Just something about
Those
that
are
doesn't
space
seem.
push pins.
Yeah, because if you lost gravity, I don't know. It just seems like it would be a liability.
Oh, they what do you call it? They just deionize and go away.
I
Very
hope they don't
special
have a
space push
sharp
pins.
point. Not the best makeup on Pride Weather here.
No, but you know what? It's just good that we're just glad he's dead, right? And we've got some paper towels.
He's like if Yar and Wesley Crusher had a little bit of Tuvix happen to them in the transporter. Rigelian fever, is that when you just have a huge crush on a Rigelian? Don't say the word, guys.
What word? I don't know what you're talking about.
The yeah.
I just reacted to Wes Cagel's Hoshi picture.
Now, see, up to this point, I still think this is a fantastic episode.
Now we're getting to magical thinking.
And this is what, Act 3?
Yeah, it's still pretty good, but I mean, to me though, it was really dumb to eat the food and drink the water as soon as they went there. Like she has out of all of them, she has the best tricorder. Why not just have her whip it out?
Oh. I hope she doesn't whip it out.
I mean, if it was me, I would have been like, look, they know everything about our ship. They see the injuries on the crew. If they want to take us out, they could have done it. You know, it's like, it's one of those things. Maybe a throwaway line would have worked there. Hey, they could have taken us out any time. Why would they give us bad diarrhea?
Why come after us now?
The catfish.
On the other side, like if I was your Spock, I'd be like, that doesn't mean that they got everything right, sir.
True.
I propose that we take out these tricorders we carry with us and use it to examine the water.
The repair station is made
of. I saw that.
The vats of chili from The Office.
Yeah.
That's what those are. They're big cooking pots, stainless steel cooking pots.
That's a tamale. It's a tamale thing.
Yeah.
It's warp plasma containers that happen to look exactly the same. Okay, stop bumming my head. He's trying to negotiate with the vampire station. And that prop looks like something that Picard messed with in The Next Generation, honestly. Remember the other Iconian station where he had to like translate their language? Looks a hell of a lot like that interface.
It's similar for sure.
And by the way, I know that one is the Iconians and one is the Arconians. We use them both interchangeably, don't we?
Duranium pins. I think of like pins you put surgically in your leg, that kind of thing. Every time I hear that.
Was Craigslist around in 2004?
I believe it was.
Yeah, it is, right?
It was.
Yeah.
People were still using it as a back page, if you know what I mean.
Radioactive said it. Go to a third
If
world
you were
space
looking
station
for
to get
somebody
third
to
world
watch
quality.
Star Trek with you at an hourly rate, Teague,
Yes.
you definitely could use Craigslist back then for that.
You know what? I'm going to say it right now. I could have used some Craigslist back. I think I probably was using Craigslist back then. I think I got my apartment using it.
Oh, yeah.
My old apartment, which was much nicer than the one I live in now, folks.
Now, as a kid, I never thought
Before
twice
the
about
wife,
this.
before the dark times. What, the
As a
sphincter
kid,
closing?
I never thought twice about them crawling through these Jeffries tubes and conduits. As an adult, I'm like, dear Lord, at least wear some knee pads.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah,
I
bring
just
some gear.
straight up couldn't do that. My knees would just be like, nope, this is hilarious.
They're young. And this is a weirdly aggressive move, but I guess it killed their dude, so they don't care.
No, they beamed him out. They beamed him back.
And by the way, this is a little ridiculous because why would they be able to hotwire a station that's alive? You know what I mean?
Yeah. Here's where we're getting into crazy territory here. Like, why didn't the
They wanted
station
to
see
see
more
more aliens.
plasma?
Yeah,
Or
this is
why
start
didn't the
of
station detect the explosive device that had been left on there? Like, it knew
yes,
of Malcolm's injury.
We have some props left over from acquisition. We have to use those hallway props again.
the start of Act 4. Things really start flying off the rails. And here you're like, what?
Yeah, here we're going with the tech horror. Everything else
Yes.
is super clean, and this is all dirty. It's got a stink in there too. You figure that they would just be like, "Oh my god, these people haven't showered in years."
At least to Paul, right? She'd be like, if she thinks humans smell bad, she's like, "Oh, there's no in here." It's like, I wonder how many species are in here, and she like rolls them off. It's like, how can you tell? It's like, oh, they all stink. It's like, whoa, DePaul, whoa, calm down. It's like, I've been reading this book that you have called Mein Kampf. I find it quite interesting.
I also don't believe that if you figured out how to do replicator stuff, that you would have any need for these humans either, or
Right.
any of these biological forms. I just don't understand.
Yeah, if you're sophisticated
point of
enough to
this.
create a perfect duplicate of a life form, then
You could create bioneural gel packs,
yeah,
for example.
Not only does it look like a scene out of Coma, it looks out of this like a scene out of season 1, episode 3. We're just going right back to an idea we've used before in this show not long enough ago, the vampire ship thing. Don't think about it, Jonathan. Don't think about it. Yeah, it's a little bit nuts. Although the Voyager does it, right? Don't they have like bioengineering or
Voyager has
biopacks?
bioneural gel packs.
Yeah. Which is creepy.
here the
Yeah,
station
it
could
is
just
like
keep
that.
just beaming back in there if it wanted to.
I think RRTNZ kind of
That is a good
sums
point,
up what we're
Sean.
saying. It's a good way
I
to
didn't
put it.
even realize that. That never occurred to me.
Yeah,
Why
it-
doesn't
it-
it just beam all these people back in there?
We're afraid to use the transporter. We'll run through the deadly alien space station first.
No, the station itself, because it beamed Malcolm out of that too. They could have just beamed Mayweather.
That's true.
Back in, or beamed to Paul and Archer out of that room.
Don't think about it.
Yeah, or it should have detected the explosive here. Like the space station should have known that was there. Like it detected a scratch on the hull, but
this one's for our TSA.
There's this IED right there, and it's
don't know.
Yeah, they didn't think this episode out. They were, or maybe they did, and I'm sure the writers were like, "We need to fix this. Just make the damn episode."
Ooh, let's see. Is that what Michael Crichton story man movie starring Genevieve Bujold? While I fell into watch, I don't know that movie. Which Michael Crichton movie? And is there anything that guy ever wrote that didn't become a movie? It's like some chick he picked up at a nightclub is going to give that napkin over as a script. It's like it's got his phone number on it and his name. Why is he so dumb? Now the station is only as developed as like America's World War II technology. A World War II style non-photon torpedo. Conventional explosives, right?
Yeah.
Super refined, but conventional. And by the way, since didn't have enough going on, we're going to throw in a creepy Christine aspect. Yes, it's a kaboom boom. Hello, Dead Man. It's good to see you.
Hey, the Dead Man.
The Dead Man has joined us from the Carolinas. The doctor told me what happened.
Yeah, our Tanzan.
The doctor told me what happened. I remember starting the toothpaste commercial, and then the next thing I knew, I woke up here in sickbay.
Exactly. It's like I had a lot of acting calls this week.
Then I remember I was laying in a room and hot liquid was pouring all over me.
Phantom outside is right, man. We didn't spend a lot of time moralizing about them the way Captain Kirkwood. Don't worry about it, Mr. Miller.
They were all kicked out of 3 high schools.
Yeah, Captain Kirk would have somehow kabam-bombed that room so that he wouldn't have had to have people left behind. He never would have left people in that situation. That's a little bit of a problem for me.
Well,
yes, they do. They put on their plot armor. But by the way, here we go. We don't have enough going on, so let's have a creepy Christine aspect.
This should never have happened.
Yeah, this was like the end of the TNG episode where there's like that radio signal beaming out into space, and it's the aliens are gonna come one day.
I mean, that's basically the Borg right there.
Right.
Yeah, Jonathan Davis is right. It's a unique episode.
We got a sneak peek at next week's episode where Captain Archer has to do the lumberjack competition.
And come back from the theater and come back inside and join us. And this is where we have our analysis and thoughts. First, we're just sort of going to freely converse, and then we'll do our scores. But that's it for the episode. It wasn't too bad. I will say this one is not as good as last week's, in my opinion. I thought last week's episode, the last episode we watched was better. Minefield was better. This one's not as bad as I had feared. There is some good things about it, but we definitely made the right call going with yesterday's Enterprise last week rather than watching this episode, which is fine, but we either would have been totally contemptuous of it or we would have been completely over the top gushing about it. We were not going to be. We had to go with something that was hard to mess up. We're only human too. Yeah, what is the next episode coming at us? It's a little while till Vanishing Point, guys. Sorry.
It's a night in sick bay.
Oh, yeah, that's that one. It's not exactly Shades of Grey, but it's not the greatest episode.
They make Scott Bakula put like beads and braids in his hair. I mean, I know our listeners.
That part was pretty funny. I like that.
They
part
can't wait for that.
Part
That's
is
what
pretty
they're
funny.
really here for.
They do that to Riker as well on that one planet where they have like the matriarchal society. It was Angel One. He's like, I am just to go meet the leader of the planet, and it's just like he's got like this like weird 80s more like 70s like disco outfit on. It's like made of tinfoil. It's like he looks like the Catch of the Day chick from Gamesters of Triskelion. Yeah, but he's got on. Radioactive, the station wasn't paid off yet. Don't worry, it fixes itself.
Do you know how many credits it's going to cost?
Grimlon, hi. You got an ATM on that light bright body of yours? Yeah. Is the who made the station and why that it's the people who made the Arsenal of Freedom? There's novels about this, and the race, the species that made them is called the Were.
Oh, so is it in books that this was the same species that made Arsenal?
No, that's my headcanon. You trailed off there
okay.
again.
Yeah, I was looking away from the mic.
Oh, okay. As long as there's an organic reason, we are like on everybody who uses StreamYards. The most affordable because we cheaped out and used StreamYards. We all spend our lives in eternal paranoia that we might be experiencing some weird anomaly or another. What can I tell you? That's the world of StreamYards. That's how it works. And wow, Vic Fontaine. I just saw this now. I'm sorry. Another great night of Star Trek with a $20 rant over on Rumble. Thank you so much, Vic Fontaine. Thank you.
I am very happy, for you, Teague, that they basically doubled the privilege to use this platform, right? I can see that we've been really seeing the benefit of that lately.
You know what? The ability to go to 3 different places, it usually is pretty good. The thing is, Rumble does tend to blow up. A couple of people asked for it. Vic is a big fan of the show, and he's a big Star Trek supporter. Oh, wow.
Very
Gifties.
Nice.
Thank you so much, Krimwan. February's off to a great start. Hey, happy Black History Month, everybody! It's February, and let's see who got the.
So it is.
I love when this happens because you get to see who's lurking.
No! They're not lurking. You can be completely offline and still get gifted.
You might have been.
This happens to me all the time. I get an
Mr.
email
Anderson
at
got
3 a.m. randomly from YouTube, and I'm like, what now? And it's like,
okay, you're right. You're right. Yeah, I remember that's happening.
So welcome aboard to the Dead Man, who is here. Woody M, who was here the other night and might be here now, and Carla Burton, and someone who I'd been wondering about. William Shakespeare has been around. William, all right. I was going to ask where William was. And DJ Ronnie G, who's here a lot. He got one.
From the old
RTN says.
Yeah.
Station was made of parasitic bugs that took over people's bodies from the episode Conspiracy, who also never appeared again. I can't believe they heavily considered that for Picard season 3. I think Terry Matalas was just flexing that he watched a lot of Star Trek or something.
So,
I watched enough Star Trek.
Does anyone else have a problem with the fact that this station was never heard of or from again?
Right.
And it's actually quite close to Earth.
The Vulcans should have known about it.
TOS time, it's very close, especially because the Tellarites knew. The Tellarites told them it existed. The Tellarites are a founding member of the Federations, right? Of the Federation. I thought, right?
Yeah, it's like
humans, Vulcans, Andorians, Tellarite.
Your ship is messed up. You're not so very unfriendly with the Tellarites. You have a decent relationship with them. You'd be like, you'd figure they'd be like, well, you could take 10 years to limp back to your station, or, if you go at your best speed in about a week or two, you could go by the old Phantom gas station and use some of the tools that it was left behind. It's like, it's sort of weird. It's like exactly what we need. But again, I want to thank Crimlon again for making people members. And I want to see if I could do something. Maybe if I release some members now, we can get another emoji. Although God knows I can't think of what to use them for, but I'm going to go see what I can do.
We'll come up with some.
I just have issues with this because TOS, to finish this point, TOS did not have a replicator the way that they had this. And this would have been deeply in Federation space by the time that this would have been there. So why is it never talked of again? That's the biggest problem that I have with it being a replicator instead of just using magical beams to like quickly suture up people that were injured or like melt metal and reform it back into place. I think the replicator in the rec area was one step too far. Anybody else?
Yeah, I don't.
I thought this whole thing was like, it was like, I said this in another episode or in another wrap up. I said, I feel like a lot of times we have episodes that hit safely. It hit safely. It moved the runner over or it worked the walk out. This wasn't a home run, but it wasn't like, it didn't embarrass itself. It didn't embarrass itself. I liked the fact that they remembered that humans are supposed to be curious. Curiosity killed the pride weather. Pride weather cometh before the fall. Curiosity killed the pride weather. And hey, JT, wow,
yeah,
thank you.
I mean,
wow.
I replicated some memberships off of the station. And it didn't even cost me 200 liters of war plasma.
I'm like all
just
over
blood plasma.
Yes,
I've never been so fully engaged in a show before. I'm over at my other station. My boom mic stretches just far enough, so I've saved myself money tonight. I might sound off mic, but that's because I literally am. I'm trying to do something with my other computer here, and if I do that, we should almost definitely have a really swell amount of members. So, first of all, thank you. Second of all, if Anthony Mackie gets one, we apologize. We can't control it, but I hope that Anthony Mackie has gifting turned off. I don't.
Yeah.
I don't particularly need Anthony Mackie to do it, and I don't know.
But the folks, Outlaw Bill, somehow wasn't already a member. Well,
he is a member now.
You're a member now.
Mister. I'm
Your
talking to
Muslim
you,
uncle,
mister.
hail, buddy.
All
It's been a
right,
little
welcome
bit.
aboard.
Hope you're doing well. Words and Pictures, Jonathan Hancock, and
All right.
also good buddy, Mr. Angel. Hope you're doing well.
We love Mr. Angel.
Yeah,
Locked
great
it
guy.
on.
Great guy.
All right, let's see. Do I have
Mr.
any?
Angel has a lot of good points too. I got on a stream with him for the first time maybe like a year ago. He doesn't do it that often, but when he does, just some interesting. He always has something interesting to say. So
He comes to member hangout night.
oh, okay.
But Victor
Well, he will
Fontaine,
now,
I want
for sure.
I want to spend a moment just thanking Victor Fontaine. That's the first Rumble rant we've gotten in like 2 years.
Wow.
Yeah. So Victor, thank you very much. Crimlon, thank you so much. That's 10. Wow. Holy smoke. We're going to have a couple of new emojis. I don't know. Like the first, I guess we'll throw something in there because they go away if you don't use them. So we'll throw something in there, even if it's the same 4 pictures in a row for a little while. But if you're a member, spam those emojis. I want to see them. Spam them. Spam them now. Spam them. Spam the platinum emoji. Spam it. Spam it. I'm the only guy I know who has 2 different iterations of the American flag emoji. You know what? unfortunately for me, but fortunately for people who like my content, I have more free time than I had been hoping for lately. And whoa, the dead man with a 99-cent super sticker. We have got, you know what? I took out, just because it's Black History Month, by the way, guys. So you know what I did today? I took off the regular keyboard on my computer and I put on the black one.
Oh, there.
Yeah,
Well,
I wanted to honor it.
Admiral Teak, my keyboard is a German branded keyboard. I won't say who they are because they should sponsor you, and I'm not going to give them the free publicity.
They should sponsor
keys.
me.
All
blank
keys. So you better know how to type. People laugh at me because I have one like that at work too, and they're like, "How do you know where all the letters are?" I'm like, "I'm an android, so I know these things. I know these things."
By the way, 42. Everyone watched the Enterprise. Everyone watched Enterprise, and no one watched the Osborns. Let's give people a chance to rate the episode. Sorry, guys, I should have put that in there earlier. What grade do you give Dead Stop?
I like what Phantom Outsider said earlier. Let me push that up here. He says the reason it was not talked about was in Kirk's time, people would drop by and just ask for a lifelike copy of Hoshi. And the station was taken over by the sci-fi model guy. Oh, believe me, if I had that station, I wouldn't leave.
You would be like telling the station, like, create me a Hoshi simulacrum.
No, me no.
I would ask for an Empress Sato.
That would be another great simulacrum. Okay, here we go. That looks pretty good as far as showing this chat up on the stream.
Oh,
all right.
Oh,
wow. We have a gift-a-thon going on. Kremlon, wow. Kremlon, I have to really thank you very much for the amazing gifts. Wow. And I want to say, the gifted memberships, in general, one of the things I didn't expect, and people should check it out. Check out the last member video where I take you guys for a ride on the New York City subway and just kind of talk to you as though we were on the subway together. I might have to get some more subway footage for that because that was kind of fun. I think people told me they enjoyed that, and it got pretty well watched. But basically, what it allowed to happen was very good for the channel, and I guess very good for someone who's getting fucked with. Was Snowdub saw it right away, and like within like an hour of me putting it up, there was a response on the there was a response right there on the post about it from Snowdub, and I'm like, how did Snow know so fast? Like, oh. But then look, I think Snow this is like the third or fourth time he's been a member. Snow just likes Star Trek. We know your secrets, Snowdub. You like Star Trek, and one day soon, Admiral Teague will have a puppet of his own, and I will also be able to go on the air and join you with the Great Cotton Collective. I hope. And let's hope that Snowdub, it looked like everything was going well for him yesterday, especially over on the green thing. And that's what brings us to the other thing is what happened to Snowdub is one of the reasons why I fired the green thing back up is some people just don't want to give any money to YouTube. And like if the Rumble lets you down as far as the signal, if it crashes, you still have YouTube to come back to, but a lot of people just find YouTube to be wonderful and great. And then there's some people who, like, for some strange reason, think it's repugnant and censors us. And we don't know why our overlords would ever think anything, but why they would think we would think that.
Admiral,
but
you know what is
great?
Way
around dealing with them.
And you know what is great and not
it just crashed
censored?
the browser. What is great?
And Kremlon loves it. It is the Sydney Sweeney emoji.
Everyone loves the Sydney Sweeney emoji.
I mean,
Sydney
Kremlon
Sweeney
posted that. Oh gosh, 30x of Sydney Sweeney. That sounds like that episode where Harry Kim was supposed to go down to that planet and mate. And then they were gonna like Black Widow him, and I'd be like, well, that many Sydney Sweeneys. It's okay. We'll just. It's okay. I'll stay on the planet.
If you had that many Sydney Sweeneys laid end to end, their boobs would stretch to the moon. By the way, I just got to
we
episode
do
3
these things not because they're easy, but because because they are hard.
Everybody's spamming Team Hoshi is definitely Team DePaul doesn't get the kind of traction. We need Jolene
I have an
Blaylock if you want to
awful
take back the hearts
JFK.
of our.
By the way,
Ask not what you can do for Star Trek. Ask not what the Federation can do for you, but what you can do for the United Federation of Planets. And anybody over on Rumble side, when we go there, the links will always be in the show description to watch along. And Vic is cheering along. The emojis are fun on Rumble too. I got to admit, I love you can spam Trump. They've got like Trump doing the head thing with the do. I mean,
yeah. They do.
I mean, to be fair, like they only have that side of the equation. I don't know how honest they are in this one. I'm going to be serious with you. I don't know which oppressor is better. Like, we're in free informational mode. We'll do our review in a minute. Guys, we're just hanging out for a minute. This is us. I don't know, like, what to tell you about the Green Machine. Like, I know that the people at YT get really kind of pissy if you go there. And I'm sure that with their own equipment from the parent company that we stream with, that gives us such an easy and great sound every week. We're only spending money hand over fist to buy new equipment every couple of weeks. But, you know what? Let's just keep in mind though. Rumble could go. Oh, I said it. Rumble could go the other way any moment because honestly, it's owned by Cantor Fitzgerald, which is a New York City-based investment firm. I check out everything that I stream on, which is why I didn't go with BitChute and Kicks. It was just too much of a hassle. We do these things because they are easy and we are hard. I am quite hard. RTN says, in the subway video, you were shuffling through the city like on the 4th of July like a firecracker, waiting to blow like a robber who is making his way to the cities of Mexico. Oh, wait, that's Beastie Boys. Shuffling through the city like the 4th of July, like a firecracker waiting to blow. Breaking like a robber who was making his way to the cities of Mexico. I think that's Beastie Boys, right? Sydney Sweeney says radioactive with a very generous United States $10 super chat. Thank you, my friend. Sydney Sweeney starred in an episode of Teague Trek called Teague's Women. It occurs on a planet with robots which all looked like Sydney Sweeney. Wes Cagle is now over on Rumble too. What can I tell you? This is going to destroy our YT engagement, so be it. We blew up X. Some days we blow up X to the 2 to 4, 500. Who knows when it's going to happen on which channel? Some days YouTube is just really right there where we need it. Tuesdays and Thursdays, we're going to be here a lot more at 7:30 p.m. Eastern. And wow, Miskatonic. I feel like I should sing the song, but that's Doomcock's song, so I need a song for the super pair. It's like
super pair. Yep.
Yeah, I know we love the song. It's like believe it or not, it's a flying pair. I
there you go.
Thought it would be a pair flying away on a wing in a prayer. Who could it be? It's a piece of fruit, can't you see?
It's mean and
oh, wow,
green.
I came up with that just
That's
now.
great.
I got to mark the
nice.
time code on that one so I remember the song. Yeah, that's getting edited.
Well, I
It's too
talked
bad I
a little bit
disabled
through
shorts.
it. My bad.
It's
But,
okay. I just need to harvest the lyrics so I can do it anytime someone does. Thank you. Miskatonic, you inspired like a recurring thing. That's going to go on forever now. Miskatonic, that's perfect. Thank you. Thank you so much for the super sticker. I love it. Thank you.
And
it's great to see
hail
everybody.
to Buddy Hepburn.
You know what?
Great guy.
Oh yeah,
It's
Buddy
great to see Buddy
Always
Hepburn.
here to hang out. Yeah.
Buddy Hepburn figuring into one of the videos that we had out there. He's in the discussion of Minefield, is it? Oh no, but in yesterday's Enterprise, guys, if you could do me a favor, as far as like the YT thing, listen, YouTube, they are harsh masters, and they put us through hell to work for a terrible company. You guys see it yourself, and guys here saw it. I've shown the analytics to the guys. I've shown a lot of analytics to you guys too. But the one thing that I do kind of resent about YouTube is that I work hard on the video essays, and I think they're pretty darn good. And what it does is it breaks them off. It like, I'll get 500 views on 500 impressions, and only, like you saw it, guys, 75% external. No one busts their ass like me to get their videos seen, so that our opinions, which is the opinion of this community, we carry the membership. We're like the Shellyak corporate.
I was just gonna say. Oh man.
Non-sequitur.
Sorry, folks.
We are
sorry, not sorry. We're Star Trek nerds, okay?
Yeah, no, we're Star Trek fans.
Yeah. We carry the membership. I was like, oh, you're Shellyak, and you beat me to it.
This discussion has elements of the Nerdporio type.
And yeah, well, I mean, Nerdporio is one of our mighty allies, and you know what? We are so glad to have all of you with us and have you watching this and experiencing this with us. And you guys have been so amazingly generous. The Dead Man, Miskatonic Madman, Radioactive, NRRTNZ. And then over on the Green Machine side, we have Victor Fontaine with a $20 rant. And I thank Victor Fontaine. Another great night of, another great Saturday night Star Trek. Well, it's Saving Star Trek, but it's Saturday night Star Trek. Yeah, it's not the same, but it's for the same reasons. Love of Star Trek. It's for the same people.
And it's on the same night. So,
well,
I mean,
this was asked to be done.
Oh, yeah.
I was on earlier in the night, and you know what? This was coming to listen to the Saturday Star Trek show was something that I took pleasure in doing, and I was there enough. And you guys know it. A lot of times too, I was working early on, grinding away so that I could be a featured employee with this terrible employer. That is. Crimon is great. We're back a little. Oh, am I behind on chats? Yeah. No. Am I behind on these chats? I'm not understanding them.
You're not that far behind.
Crimon is awesome. I know Crimon well now, and Crimon has been to a bunch of shows, and he's friends with Radioactive. He is great. And so far, no problems with any interlocutors or anything like that. Guys, and Canadian Spider-Man is over there on Rumble. Wow, hey, Canadian Spider-Man, it's been a moment.
Hey.
Canadian Spider-Man show. It's good to see you making an appearance. Hello. You know what? Yeah, we're making our triumphant return to Rumble because you know what? We need to kind of exert the fact that there's more than one place. There's more than one transmission. X. It's about it's about having the audience, reaching the audience, and we never know where it's going to blow up. Sometimes we've seen Rumble streams get out of hand a couple of times. We've seen YouTube streams that no one could believe with like 800 likes, fucking great stuff. We've seen things happen on X that were absolutely incredible, 300-400 concurrence, and I have to open my X window back up.
And you're just simply following the 45th rule of acquisition: expand or die. Right.
I have to agree. Good. That's good, Quack. It's my Grand Nega Shrek. You know what I almost... You know what I almost did today was I was going to have the plot synopsis delivered with like another avatar. I was trying to have Grok create a Romulan newscaster, and I was calling him Don Romulus. And like it was basically Don Lemon as a Romulan, but it just like it kept like it was going to be it was going to be like, citizens of the Empire, foolish Archer has tried to flee our minefield. He has gone stupidly, it's like a douchebag, to the fucking haunted space station that we all stay away from. You know the one your kid went thinking he could go be tough and came back scared piss. Yeah, that's the one. The one that we tell the crazy stories about, the one everyone's afraid of. They're gonna go there. So don't worry, we've got these dicks right where we want them. Hell to the Emperor. Something like that. What do you think? Should we have like a Vulculin? Like, should I keep working on having Grok do Don Romulus or Don Lemon? What would his name be? Don Romulus? Rom Donulus?
You know what, Teague? When you first said that, I thought you were gonna say Don Knotts as a Romulan, and so I put this.
Invoking Don Knotts is something that we saw when Gary did it and followed him around for a while. So I'm going to be a little careful about that one. Hello, to all you wonderful, happy people across 3 platforms. We're so happy to bring you Star Trek. And here we are at the 1 hour and 49th minute of our broadcast, which is the moment when we're actually going to rate the episode.
It should be, to Don from Le Mans 4?
Wait, hold on, you ready?
Well, Don Knotts as a Romulan, his disruptor, what's that?
Oh, wow. Hey, live from New York. It's Saturday Night Star Trek. All right, when you say it like that.
Then. Wow.
Live from New York. Wait, hold on. I'm gonna do a... I'm going to tell you something, Captain Kirk. It's time for you to let me put the power pack in my phaser. All right.
I really don't know about this move there. I don't know about this move. My disruptor only has one shot in it. Andy,
Otis got drunk and fucked Aunt B. You had to be drunk to fuck that old monster, Andy. Well, Jesus Christ, Otis, haven't you seen Dune? Have you no shame?
Y'all got
all that money she made playing us
now. Y'all.
Last time those people were through here, they turned this into Landry's Planet. I hate when Star Trek comes to town, Andy. Yeah, it turned into a freaking Mayberry festival here. Yeah. Thank you so much to the Dead Man. We're having a wild time on 3 different platforms. And X, don't fail me now. I'm coming. X, I'm coming.
It's Saturday night.
I had an idea for a different name, Admiral Teague. I put it in the private chat. I think it's pretty good.
We probably have more people watching us now than actual strange new, I don't know. Strange.
We have more people watching us than we're watching MSNB fucking say. I'll tell you, goddamn that for sure.
Yeah.
We'll just leave that one there.
The three of us will work for $3 million instead of $5 million annually. I'll just say.
By the way, yeah, you guys got to tighten your belts. Oh, by the way, bad news. I forgot to tweet the show out on Blue Sky. I'm so afraid to go. Oh, hey, Radioactive. Wow, Saturday Night Star Trek, the musical guest Teague and the Teague Toads.
We've kind of gone off the rails, haven't we? We set course, and then we never said to Pride Weather, engage.
I've got to sing. I've got to sing. I moved the song. Gosh, I have to sing. All right. I don't know if I have the echo cancellation turned off. Let me check. Maybe I should just do that first. I moved the song. I moved the song.
I'm gonna let the dog out here. I'll be right back.
There you go.
And that was a euphemism, folks.
This one was going to be for Sean anyway, so it's too bad. Maybe I'll stall till he gets back so he can hear it. I know that he loves the song, but wow,
folks,
the generosity is overwhelming, guys. It's overwhelming.
Yeah, when I was saying at the beginning of the show this evening that we were amped to be here, I wasn't making that up. All 3 of us wanted to be here tonight because we love hanging out with everybody.
This is a fun hangout. Yeah. And I want to thank everybody. There's a lot of you in my channel family now. It's going to be huge when we have the next gathering. And I think we're going to have some emojis very, very soon. So we'll have some new ones.
Oh, is that X taking
a
off
moment
the
for
mute.
the X sound to kick in. Yeah, X is weird. It's like I can't criticize X when some of our X friends are around because some people on X just will not hear that there's anything wrong with X, and that's its own whole story. But that'll be a different talk show. Tonight's about how Rumble and YouTube are working out like you wouldn't fucking believe. And you know what? We were out there spreading it out there, and you know what? The way we were dressed, we deserved it. But we made an amazing artistic statement about yesterday's Enterprise. And if you haven't seen it yet, please do me a favor and check out the yesterday's Enterprise video if you could. It would really, even if you don't have time, take a minute and give it a like so that it gets a little fuel. Because what I did was I put together one of my most, I would say, impressive to me. I was very, very happy with it. I wrote what I thought was the best recap script I ever wrote for an episode. I did the delivery a little bit different than I do it live. It was almost like the conversation was so good that I didn't want to have the opening be overly take away from it. I didn't want it to lose anybody. So maybe if you guys hear it, like the upload, it's a little different. Well, I don't use the same upload I use live. I mean, I don't use the same intro I use live. I do some more writing for it.
But that's because yesterday's Enterprise is special, and the format you picked was stylistically designed to kind of be that way. A diversion from that. You may have gone a little bit off in the weeds in a couple places, but we were able to mitigate those effects, I think, during the discussion. It's something you should listen to. I was on the darn panel. I went back and listened to it anyway, and I don't like listening to my own voice, but it was...
Who does?
Well, right.
You can hear the jokes going right over my head sometimes while I'm doing other things, too. I'm like, oh, I'm such a dullard.
But yesterday's Enterprise, folks, if you've never seen it, you need to, for one. It is, contrary to what some may think, it is not a time travel episode.
It's a movie it's a show with time travel, not about time travel.
Yes. Yeah. So don't think, oh, time travel. No, I'm not going to do that. No, it
happens very briefly, and it's the best kind of time travel. They keep it secret and keep it safe.
What was that movie with the USS Enterprise, the CVN that went back to Pearl Harbor?
Oh, you're thinking of...
It wasn't the Enterprise, it was the Nimitz.
The Nimitz. You're thinking of the Final Countdown. Yeah.
Final Countdown.
That gets honorable mention in the upload. That's
yes.
Yeah.
I love that movie.
It reminds me of that thematically, and I love that movie too. So, if
wow!
You know what's really interesting? We had another chat. Oh wow!
Sean, I didn't sing. I waited for you because.
Oh, I'm sorry. My wife went up to bed, and
you're excused from your post, sir. Come on. This is of love of Star Trek. I'm the only one who's kind of nailed to their station when people have to leave. Just a private chat, and it's totally cool. Like everybody is engaged, and we're providing a great conversation. And we'll get ready to go around the horn in a minute. But because we got like the super sticker, and I came up with a good pair song off the top of my head. I'm good under pressure. That was a good pair. That was a good pair song. Looking down on you, looking down on me. All right, so here we go.
Hopefully, there's other Queen fans out there, because anyway.
Pictures.
Hold on, Admiralty. Don't do anything quite yet.
Okay, I'm holding on. Is the camera going to go on? What's going to happen? Almost anything can happen, ladies and gentlemen. I wonder what's going on in our poll.
At the very least, we might get a good camera opening for a good doggo that I'm sure is over there somewhere. Maybe.
There we go. Whoop.
Hold on. Don't sing yet. Don't sing yet.
I won't sing yet. This is not conducive. There we go. Thank you so much, Deadman. I really appreciate it. Guys, the fan funding tonight is really generous. I want to thank all of you guys. And here's the thing. It's not about making the biggest bang. Our yesterday's Enterprise watch party was super high quality. Like every watch party, we gave away half our views so that you guys could watch it. This was about getting it out there. We took how many views away from our would-be overlords? This is not about me accruing views or making some kind of, YouTube empire for myself. Although I will not say to you that I don't think that that would be a nice thing to have. And when I saw Hypnotic with 800 concurrents tonight, I said, this is something that would be great, but you know what? Like, there's only so far I'm willing to go to get it. And one thing that I can't do is leave Star Trek fans behind. This Saturday night Star Trek thing has become pretty much an obsession. I know we all look forward to Saturday, and it's a lot of fucking fun. So wait, what am I holding on for?
Just bear with me.
Okay.
Trust me,
I will
real
possum
quick.
with you too.
Real quick, gentlemen, John the Beagle Dad is signing out.
John, good night.
Yes, have a great evening, John. Thank you.
I feel like I should
Hold
play
on, here we go.
Kingo
Hold
as
on,
a guitar.
Almost there.
Almost there.
Ladies and
Almost
gentlemen,
there.
Almost there.
our show is under
Stay on
construction.
target.
Well, it's
Stay
like
on
New York
target.
City. We'll finish this town sometime. But I want to, first of all, honestly say thanks to all of you in my community and all of you who have fan funded this. Yesterday's Enterprise reaction we made, the video we made, the video essay that starts it, the recap, and all of that. Like right now, maybe some people have, exceeded it or done better. Let's take a look down the road about 3-4 weeks and see which one's got more looks and it's made more of a difference in the conversation. Because when we have our watch party, we then have an objective conversation, and then I give you one of the most highly edited, highly focused video essays I can, if it warrants it, or at least archive the episode if it's a decent one. So not all of them merit a lot of video. There's usually once I start doing it, there's going to be some video, but like yesterday's Enterprise, I took it pretty far. You got to cut about every 4 or 5 seconds, or you're going to get in trouble. And I have never ever gotten in trouble for that one. I am a fair use master.
I'm ready
You know
to
how
go.
much
You
reading
start
that
singing.
took?
When you
Okay,
start
ready?
singing, I'm going to do something. Just try not to laugh.
You know what song I'm going to sing? Here we go.
You're telling me to try not to laugh.
Rajata. See, that always helps. Meet the Mets, meet the Mets. Come to the park and greet the Mets. Bring your kitties and bring your wife. Guaranteed to have the time of your life, because the Mets are really hitting the ball, socking those home runs over the wall. East side, west side, everybody's coming down to meet those METS Mets of New York town. Oh, the butcher and the baker and the people on the street, where do they go to meet the Mets? All right, thank you. I can't remember much more.
Hey, that was good timing too. You took it down right when you stopped.
You know what? It was great timing. It worked out perfectly. Coincidentally, that's where my memory ran out of Mets lyrics. What can I tell you? I can't
me
wait.
as
Pitchers and
the
catchers
Tigers
soon.
fan here, I guess that makes me the Herbert of the group.
I know. Wait, it was like,
That's real
go
now, brother.
Get 'em, Tigers. God bless you, boys. Right? Something like that.
Yeah, pretty much.
I know the song. I like baseball. I like watching baseball in other parks. I like watching out of town baseball, and because the Yankees are expensive and I get free but Major League Baseball app with T-Mobile, I end up just watching the Dodgers at 10 every night, because like the Yankees, like the first time I saw them was the playoffs. I'm like, oh hey, there's a team in New York too. How do you like that? Let's see how we're doing on the poll.
People, oh gosh, Admiral, you have biting humor on some of that. And, if people aren't baseball fans, it might have gone over their head, but damn, it's just yeah. So, but no, if you want me to sing a sports ball song, I could sing the Detroit Lions football anthem. However, it stinks just about as bad as Act 5 of this episode. And on that note, may I give my review?
Let's
I thought you were going to say it sucks as bad as the Jets.
All right? We just
well.
watched the episode Dead Stop, season 2, episode 4, I believe, of Star Trek
Yes.
Enterprise, and we're going to give our thoughts now, starting with my good friend JT Kirk. Go ahead.
All right. So you may have heard me mention several times that, quote unquote, up until this point, I think this is a great episode, which prefaced that my score is not going to say that this is a great episode. The opening, maybe 2/3, is well done. The acting is well done, cinematography, all of that perfectly in place to have a classic Trek. However, once we get to the point of the body horror, Act 4, it all starts to fall apart and fall apart quickly. Sean brought up a great point that I had never even thought of, but it would just add that to the pile of problems. Why didn't the space station just beam Prideweather back in? Why didn't the station just beam Archer and T'Pol into its little network too? It doesn't seem like anyone has any agency once they're incorporated into that network. So what better way to quell any resistance than to just absorb them Borg style into your Unimatrix? This really smelled of Borg light to me at the end, and I don't think they should have gone that direction. I know they may have tried to play off of another story, pay homage to some other elements. I just don't think it works well. And they started off nearly perfectly in so many ways through the first 3 acts. The other thing separately I would like to say, which we already talked about, was the replicator should not have been in this episode. It's too problematic for when we think about TOS and the technology level that they have, where this space station is positioned relative to the Federation in TOS. There's just a lot of things that you would have to fill in with your own headcanon to have this not be problematic with lore. So, where I would take that from, Admiral, do you want me to give my rating?
Go right ahead, yeah.
Okay. I give this a C, or a 7.4 out of 10. I love the early parts of this episode, and I love the way T'Pol looks in this episode. I don't care if I'm toxic on that. However, the problems that I just mentioned with it lower the score. And we were so close to having a B+ or an A on this.
Never leave your toxicity in your quarters, Mr. Oh my God! RTN said, since you're singing, well, I can tell you I'm a Borg. Well, I can tell I'm a Borg by the way I walk. Assimilate you all, no time to talk. Take him alive. Okay. Well,
Staying Alive.
It's
sung to Staying Alive.
by the way I walk, assimilate you all, no time to talk. Take him alive. How's that? I did my best. I'm not exactly great at falsetto, but hey.
3 cheers
you know
for
what?
the Admiral. Yeah.
All right. Thank you.
We should really pair you up with Uhura and Spock with the stringed instrument. I think the 3 of you in the officer's mess would, do some damage there.
If I was to take over, it was like you as captain of the Enterprise. If it was an Enterprise like ship the D or something like that, right? Just imagine that ship, right, with that crew and Riker. First of all, I would act just like Jellicoe towards everybody, but that would be so I wouldn't have to do as much work, and I would just really come down hard on Riker, and I'd just be like, because he's a workaholic anyway, and I would say what Dick Jones doesn't say. I'd be like, I don't like you, Riker. But it's because we're exactly alike. And that's the truth. There's no reason for Jellicoe not to like Riker.
Are you going to F with him so hard that you're going to make him go to a 4-shift rotation, then back to a 3-shift, and then back to the 4-shift rotation?
No, because the whole crew would hate me. I'm going to take it out on Riker. But the one thing, you know what I would have added to that episode if I was the writer, is I would have had Riker be like, Well, of course, I have a Delta shift made out for Captain Picard for his consideration every month as a contingency plan, but I didn't think you'd actually want me to implement it. You've got that would have been so much more,
throw Picard under
confidence.
The bus. Throw Picard under the bus.
No, like I've anticipated the idea that there might be a Delta shift, and therefore I have one. But like it's like well, I've always kept just like Sulu, like in episodes of TOS, will be like, Sulu, set a course for Roger 7, laid in, sir. Sulu's already anticipated the captain's orders. He's ready to just all he has to do is push the button. You know what I mean? Like that kind of Star Trek thing.
Well, don't
aspect of Star Trek.
Don't push the button. We don't want Harvey getting out. Okay.
Well,
Chekhov. I've been updating that course for hours.
It's exactly. I will just say this: as far as pushing the button, I've seen Section 31. Doomcock asked me last night what I thought about it, and then he had like 4 straight minutes of technical problems, just like we had. So, Doom, baby, and Sean, you can tell him I said this. Fucking Infection 31. Avoid at all costs.
I think I did use that term on Wednesday, and I should have given you credit, and I apologize. I will correct that.
Not a big deal. It's no big deal. And it's great to have people here. And you know what? We wouldn't have it any other way than to show you the episode and to have you guys be able to make up your own mind and give your own votes. And let's see how we're doing. By the way,
I think it was Radioactive did send a chat plugging the show.
Oh, Radioactive! Cool. Thank you very much.
Cool. I think it was. I may be wrong, but I'm pretty sure it was Radioactive that sent a super chat on Wednesday plugging the show. And Doomcock did say hail to Admiral Teague.
Doomcock has been nothing but congenial to me. And when I went to the Friday Night Frolics, which is where I end up interacting more, and like he's the greatest entertainer, man. He interacts with his people. And, it's very special. You can just hang out there and lurk. You say hi to everybody, and then you just kind of try to pull back and, like, drink it in. And, you learn from the master. At the same time, that doesn't always apply to how I can do this show. It's like I have to, like, listen to a variety of different people, including, believe it or not, some of the political people have showed me a thing or two, especially about breaking down video, which I think I'm going to start doing a little more often. I think it's... Dare I transform Trek culture? Because I've kind of had it with them. I've sort of had it with their nonsense. And by the way, the biggest indication, I'm going to say right now, and you can report this, and I'm saying that this is news. The biggest indication that Kurtzman might be gone and that that it's still up in the air, no one's attacked this show. When Paramount has money and they have a project out, it has been like clockwork. They've attacked this show. I'm calling that news.
Yeah.
Well, the violinist at your subway station probably has more money than they do right now. Just being honest. CBS is the mountain people are flat broke.
I also think the mountain people are reassessing how the people that their underlings have around are spending their money. By the way, TNZ says, Jellicoe, I'm cashing you out, blows up Riker in his quarters. I'm cashing you out, Will. Yeah, that's his line in Total Recall. Total Recall, neither movie has anything
I thought
to
it
do
would
with
be
the
great
book.
in Casino Royale. Or no, not Casino Royale. It's which TNG episode I'm thinking of.
It's Chain of Command with him, right?
No. I'm thinking of the one where they go to the hotel in that anomaly and it's a revolving door.
Oh, you're talking about the one where they have the astronaut.
Yes.
That's a good one. It's called the Royale.
The Royale.
It's called
okay.
just
so
the
it's
Royale.
Not the Casino Royale. It's just.
I think it's just
Royale.
called the Royale. And
Which
he says, "I wish I'd bought a better book with me."
Yeah.
I wish I'd bought a better book. That's a great episode. And you feel his pain. You're like, damn. What if he'd bought these aliens replicated everything? Imagine if he'd bought the Silmarillion.
Yeah. Oh, if he had brought the Lord of the Rings. Oh man.
By the way, I love the most popular single emoji on this channel is Patton. It's like it looks like the thing we should probably do is Patton 2 should probably be the next emoji. It's like, do you guys want a second Patton emoji?
I mean, all your emojis could just be Patton except for Sydney Sweeney. And
yeah, right. Just there's so many different looks in that movie. You could just get another like another thing which is like thoughtful. You know, it's like depressed.
When you said that the robots hadn't come after the channel, it reminded me of that scene from Airplane when they go, "Sure is quiet out there," and he says, "Yeah, too quiet."
Too quiet.
Yeah.
Well, you know what I always say when they show up is buzzkill droids. You know, line from Revenge of the Sith. All right, so it's Sean. JT gave his score. He gave it a 7.4. You want to jump in there and
sure.
So we'll do we want to check the poll first?
We can, sure. I'm part of that poll.
Let's check the poll for the moment. Right now, not a lot of people giving it an A, but it's 15 votes, so we're approaching scientific viability. At 22, it's viable. So A, 7%, B, 47%, C, 33%, and significant but not huge, 13% think it's a DF. So a lot of people thinking this one like right in the middle here, and I might be echoing this poll when I go. But Sean, please, take us away.
Well, it's sad to say that I placed this in that bottom category of the D and F. It's a middle D, high D, like it passes, but barely. I agree with JT on all the good points and everything. You know, it started off great and then it just, you know, it falls apart. But this episode, they just wrote themselves into a corner. And it's actually, I just thought of this too. This is like the opposite of Deus Ex Machina, where, you know, usually the super powerful technology helps the good guys. In this case, the super technology was the bad guy, but it was so powerful that the things they did to win didn't make sense. The logic fallacies in this are so great. I can't not give it a D for that. Like the station would have beamed why did they have to place the warp plasma on the platform? It would have just beamed it away, you know, or it would have developed a little thing to come and get it out of there, or it would have beamed them out of the thing, would have beamed Travis back in there.
Yeah, the station's only as smart as it needs to be in any given moment. That was a little bit frustrating.
Yeah, it could have staged an explosion and not left a simulacrum behind for them to find a clue. There's just so many things wrong with it. I can't not give it that grade. And I have a feeling they started off writing. I imagine them writing this episode. And, oh, this is great. And they're going and they're going and they're going and they're like, oh crap, how do we get out of this? What do we do to make the ticking clock? What do we do to make it danger for a close escape? You know, they have to put some stress and danger in there. And when they got to that point in writing the story, they're like, they just fell apart. They didn't know what to do. I'll watch it.
Yeah, like it's right. Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
Sorry, go ahead.
And that's the thing. This is just like the last episode where I think I gave the last one a C. I'll still watch it. Like, even though I give this a D, I can watch this episode. There are some fun things in there. There's some good Trek stuff. There's a bunch of tech nerdy things. But yeah, the whole replicator thing, that station is far too powerful. It makes absolutely no sense why it would just be there, why the Vulcans weren't aware of it, what happens to it after, right? If it just keeps regenerating itself, where is it in Kirk's time? Someone comes take it away or steal it, or there's too much wrong with it.
Wisely abandoned as a terrible plot device, right? They're like, we can't go back to it.
Yeah, but, who built it and why? A Phantom Outsider asked that earlier in the chat.
It's a good question. We had good ideas about why. Like, even something as simple as having the classic piece of TNG, since you own it anyway, come up on a screen and have the same guy from that planet from Arsenal of Freedom be like, hi, we have weapons. That would have been more than enough for all of us, because at this point, it's safe to assume that the audience knows Star Trek, and it wouldn't have explained the episode, and it would not have been fan service either. It would have been for people who like Star. Yes, but it wouldn't have taken away for people who didn't know what it was, which is where fan service is. Like, if it's thrown in there to save, if it's thrown in there to rescue the episode, it's a member berry. If it serves the overall show, it's a well-used piece of canon and lore.
Yeah, and I like what Radioactive says. It was using an MS-DOS based OS. I thought it was a Linux. I wanted to highlight that one.
Well, they could just do on C:, they could have done delete space star dot and just
format
the whole
enterprise dot.
Anyway,
my guys,
so I give it
level 7. Oh, so go ahead.
I was going to say final grade 65, 6.5 compared to JT's 7.4. You said.
Yeah, they're
not a DF.
Well, we're in the realm of similarity. I just
so that's a CD.
couldn't get out of its own way.
Still passing.
It still passes, but like you're not getting rewarded from mom and dad when you bring that grade home.
No, you didn't act very well in class.
You had me real confused because we were talking IT stuff, and CD and DF are both Linux commands, so you had me way off on another nerd tangent there.
Oh yeah, I knew that.
Well, CD is I
did it on purpose.
DOS,
that's what happened.
Command as well.
Well, CD change directory, DF is listing the file system. Yeah. Anyway, people don't.
I knew all of these things. I'm not hearing this for the first time at all.
Well, actually, when you're talking about now.
Well, you know what? At some point, we'd have to have that talk about editing. Just like I want to keep fine tuning the editing, guys. Let's see. So Sean gives it, I guess, a CD. So a C minus. Can we call it?
I give it 65. It's a D.
That's a D. That's D territory.
Yours your lowest passing grade. Yeah. Okay. It's a D. All right. So now it's Admiral Teague's turn. You ready? How come the only thing that knew what this space station was the space station itself? The space station's sense of identity was fine. The space station alone was, being honest, the space station's sense of identity was much more intact than theirs. What are they doing out there? Going to try to get trapped? Going to try to get killed? Check out the vampire station. Like, I honestly, it's like, the Enterprise is this van down by the river, and we're going to push it to the abandoned gas station and use some of the tools to fix it up. What, are we smoking crack? What kind of a fucking story is this? But
your query is not recognized.
I have to give it some credit for sets. I have to give it some credit for humor. I have to give it some credit for being episodic while trying to continue the story without being an imposition on us too much. It was an illogical and stupid way to fix the ship, and the station was a stupid idea. But the station alone was consistent in how it acted, consistent in what it thought, and consistent in its sense of self and purpose and identity. I fixed things for other things in exchange for things that I don't need. And why I have this vampire side, just don't worry about it. It'll be fine, as another critic likes to say. It'll be fine. That's like, why does it need people's brains? Don't know. I mean, what can you say?
They had just surrendered 200 liters of warp plasma, they could go away now.
Exactly. It's like we don't have any. Like, could you imagine if this was like something like do it's like a YouTube thing? It's like, our YouTube channel is damaged. Who can help us? It's like the Critical Drinkers old channel. We could go there, and it's like, whoa, the Critical Drinkers like his power still emanate here. What can we do? It's like, do you have any toilet duck? It's like, well, we could get some of that. Get some of that.
You fucking serious?
Was that your review, or is that a question I wanted to ask you?
Go ahead. Ask me the question, and I'll give my grade.
Do you think this story could have been salvaged if it was a two-parter? Like they could have really made this like they could have made a bunch of twists to it. I think it could have been made a great two-parter.
Sean, you think there was enough
They
there?
shortcut themselves.
Well, yeah,
to
with
the
some
end
changes
too much
because now instead of just having some automated station, you would have a station where they thought it was automated, but there's really some aliens behind it that are trying to capture people for this stuff. So like there could have been something more to it. And maybe they did write it and it was just too much story for 1 hour.
Well, it lends itself to that.
If you did 2 hours, I could almost see it going a horror route like Alien.
Yeah. It would have been
the station like beaming people into horrible situations and
I'm glad they beat
and it could have gone a really dark path quickly.
They really could have. Yeah.
I'm glad
they were
that the
damn
show's
lucky. The Enterprise was damn lucky that it didn't go that dark, Sean, because I think if we take a more realistic view of what the galaxy probably would have been like, that's where it would have gone, right? It would have been horribly pessimistic. Like that station would have just harvested all of them because it knows that it goes through these biological creatures, and every time it has to attract another one, it uses a lot of resources to do it. So it should just get every ship, right? This is basically a Venus flytrap that lets the fly go.
Right. That's why I think it would have been better if there was an alien, something that had emotions and evil motives instead of some odd. Because the space station itself had no logical reason for acting the way it did.
To let the Enterprise go.
Well, for any of it to just capture things and have, it would have worked better if there was an intelligence behind it with
like
twirling its mustache.
A Wizard of Oz, kind of thing.
Yeah.
There's
or maybe it could have been the Romulans set it as a trap to get to.
Or even there's an episode of Star Trek Voyager where there's an alien in the nebula that's trying to preserve the nebula, and she makes herself a character on the Polynesian set of the holodeck and plays with Ensign Kim and Tuvok. They're playing Calto.
For people who don't know, Ensign in the Nebula is the name. I'm sorry. That was the name of that year. It was the name of that year's Rolling Stones album because, of course, the Rolling Stones are still alive. We're going to see them in season 3 where Mick and Keith, looking much as they do now, simply show up and they're like, Woody didn't make it.
Oh, jeez.
Woody didn't make it. He's in Stovall Core,
Yeah, but
robotic moves like Jagger.
Yeah,
moves like Jagger.
This episode needed to be rewritten and fixed to where it was some alien that said, "Let's put this thing out there, pretend it's automated, but we're really in there being bad
Which
guys."
would actually be a sweet Twilight Zone episode.
Sure, yeah, but they could have done that and not gone dark. Just like, oh, the Enterprise, hey, I see you back there, Wizard of Oz. I'm going to pull the mask off and foil your plans to collect our technology.
Vic Fontaine is having his way with the with his feelings about our overlords at YouTube. It's great. It's some great stuff. Is it showing up in our StreamYards over here? I forget how Rumble integrates in these days, but Vic Fontaine with some great stuff over there. He's making a strong bid for or making a strong statement for freedom of speech. What can I tell you? And now that we've been on there a while, there's like 5 or 6 people hanging out over on Rumble. Hello to you, and hello to everyone over on YouTube. We love you, YouTube. And hello, X.
I've made some posts.
Yeah, it's a little quiet on X, but I'm watching.
You do too. It's okay if you want to answer me back.
And we got a lot of competition tonight on a Saturday night. Like Zach's, hats off to Zach's. I love him. He's out there. That's a major YouTuber doing something related to us. And so, you know what, you guys, it means a lot that you choose this show. And when we set our course to do a Saturday night Star Trek show, it changed destiny and the trajectory of my YouTubing, gosh knows. And hello, Caesar. It's good to see you. Voyager did it several times with the Think Tank episode.
Well, not only that, Cesar Cueto, we have a recycled prop in this episode from Think Tank.
From Think Tank,
the artificial intelligence, which props to them in the 90s for thinking that one up. That physical prop is reused here as the artificial intelligence for the space station, which is about as smart as a late 90s Ask Jeeves, apparently. But hey, whatever. I think my TI-83 in high school was smarter than the query system at this station, which is weird because if you had all those biological beings integrated into your computer network, you would think that they would have the perfect large language model. And it wouldn't be so stilted in its speech, right? Are you guys going with me on this one?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, it makes sense.
Instead of your query is not recognized, it would be able to be like nearly Shakespeare Bard level on that, and it wasn't.
That might
Plus,
be
they kept it vague
was,
just to stonewall anyone say and to start give up on trying to ask it anything. Like, okay, it's not going to listen to us.
If we had a lot more time, what would have been funny was watching the computer repeatedly update and refresh itself and get closer and closer. It'd be like, beginning, it's talking to him like Chaucer, like English, and it's like, the fuck, you know what I mean? And then at the end, like it's made it all the way up to like the 21st century, and it's like a station. Do you want the plasma? It's like, you're going to have to do better than that. We want more plasma. This is nothing. You're losers. We want a huge amount of plasma, or we're going to keep the ship. We're going to keep the ship. All right, you bought this thing here. It was a
I'm
piece of
telling
junk.
you, the art of the deal says
Exactly.
we're getting ripped off. No,
Getting ripped off.
disrespected.
When
I've never
Starfleet
seen
sends us.
such a bad deal.
By the way, I hate to say this, but if I'm James Tiberius Kirk, after I don't make all of these mistakes, and after I don't have to escape, and after I don't need to find out by means of losing one of my crew, I destroy this motherfucking vampire station. How about
And
you?
make sure it's gone before I leave.
Yeah, I absolutely fucking. Why didn't they turn around and just destroy it? They have phase cannons, so like, just fix this. It's just like,
Well,
after we got done smoking crack at the gas station by the side of the road and got back in the van by the river, we
It
drove.
was-
It
I know
drove just
why.
fine after we fixed it with the tools from the
Admiral,
old gas
I
station.
I know why. It was misguided faith. They had faith of the heart. And
I think they
misguided here.
left it open, like, ooh, let's have a follow-up episode of this.
Yeah, but
And
that
then-
last 10 seconds lowers everything a full letter
Oh,
grade.
Yeah,
Does it not? I mean,
was it because
so
they
campy.
didn't want to answer the question? That like, was this like, did we have a horrible mistake here? It was like in the writers' room. They're like, this is too good. This is too good. We'll shortcut to the ending and we'll boomerang back to this when we make another episode. And then
But
when this
see-
one got finished, they're like, we fucked up our idea.
Yeah, it was
But-
as
but
bad as
T-
the ending of Section 31, where they made it seem like we're going to see more of it.
exactly. But Teek, see, they would have
I
solved.
don't know if I'd
They
go
would
that
have
far, but yeah.
solved all these lore issues if they had not had the last 10 seconds.
They just
Like,
used
that's-
some more
that's
data.
how
They could have fixed their
easy-
lore.
Well, the well, that was anyway. But the problem here is what I was saying, which really lowered the score on this, was why did they not find this station ever again? If they just didn't have the last 10 seconds, it would have not violated any canon, any lore whatsoever.
They were
But-
fascinated
but-
by their
but
set or something. They
they
didn't
had
want
to
to do
have
what
it
RRTNZ saying here.
regenerate
Like, this would have been
itself.
great.
Mhm.
Maybe this should have been a two-parter because you made such a
And
big set and you didn't do
Philip
enough.
Gaming has a better
Hey,
secret division
Philip.
in mind.
Welcome. Yeah, so, you know what? Section 69 is equally good at both giving and receiving. That's what
Giorgio
people
should have
like
joined
about
that
section.
Giorgio
Yeah,
should have joined that one.
yeah, she could, scissor kick her way over there, so to speak. God, you know what? I just still can't get over the fact that we watched a Star Trek movie that was supposed to be amazeballs. Oh, by the way, I give this episode a C minus. It's almost a D. It's a D. No, it's a D. I'm not like overly mad at my kid, but he's gonna have to start applying himself, and like I'm checking his top drawer to see if he has weed. I might tell him that I'm going to check his
Very
room
apt.
tomorrow.
Very
I might be like, okay, it's like, listen, like if this episode was my kid, it was like, you know what, man? Like, I understand that sometimes we fall apart on a test, and like that, like you did good on the multiple choice, man. You were like right in there, but it was only multiple choice. Like, I'm a little disappointed that this essay question, you fucking really just screwed the pooch so bad. Like, I don't know why you fell apart like that, but you know, certainly like when you like when you had a tantrum in class and threw your like textbook across the room and kicked over your desk, that's where you went too far. And even though you only got a D, you know what? We're gonna sit down and talk about this a little bit after some spankological therapy.
Well, to
A
Paul,
little tough
only got a
love.
D.
Ooh, yeah, she's back. She's down to just a D from like the double D, whatever goes beyond
Triple
that
D.
from last year. It was ridiculous. Only a
It was
Ferengi
like
female
28
could have had more
triple D.
boob.
I was like, that's
When they did it to the old Vulcan lady, that was the most mind-blowing thing of all. I'm glad we've moved away from that meta. In season 2, they've got a little less money to work with. The world is like just going nuts, and it's just Enterprise is having every bad break. For
You think
instance,
T'Pol's
go ahead.
mom went to Vulcan Tijuana.
I would hope that she had some fake ID and went across the border. We know that she's
I
like
mean,
she's nothing like two. She's nothing like two. Is Vulcan Tijuana the northern continent? Are you saying that?
No, I'm
like,
just
the people
saying
from
like
Tuvok's part
Vulcan,
of
like a Vulcan Tijuana inflationary procedure.
I don't know. I'm just all I can think about now is like the Vulcans in like southern Vulcan being like, we need a wall against the northern continent. The
I mean,
needs of the
I
many.
know we're totally taking this off track, but wouldn't it be logical to engross yourself as large as possible because you only have once every 7 years to make an impression, so you better make it count.
I would just be taking Vulcan Viagra.
Yeah.
I would just be like, I'm half. I'd just be like, you know what? I'm half human. If I was a Vulcan,
Sean's very quiet.
I'd
He's
make
like,
a
what the
better
fuck are we
Romulan."
talking about?
I'm just listening.
He's like, why are we talking about the logic of Vulcan tit jobs? I mean,
Well, the
I'm
weirdest
just
thing
enjoying.
the weirdest what you know what is a worthy Star Trek conversation right here, because it's like, what is it about this show that made them think that even an 80-year-old Vulcan woman who was supposed to be 160 in their years,
Yeah.
right? It was like back end of like, why did they put like the fiberglass cuirass on her and give that lady the weirdest old lady boobs ever, standing up and out while she's
well,
let her be old, give her robes, leave it alone.
it was abundantly obvious that they had her being
They
a
wanted
mother,
to show that to you.
a mother with an adult child that was not going to have more children. Like that like the senior matron was the role that they painted her in. Yet they were like, nope, we're gonna have her own flotation device. just hanging out. Like I agree, Teague. It was a little bizarre of a choice.
Aesthetically strange choice. At that point, Jolene Blaylock had something to work with when she wanted to argue that this was dumb. By the way, I just want to say RRTNZ here with the what if Emperor Georgie Girl and her team of moron misfits team up with bust an illegal human robot porn operation. Section 69, still classier than what they gave us. Here's the thing. You have to remember what they say in Futurama. Section 69 says that they would be equally good at giving and receiving. In Futurama, we find out that when a human has sex with a robot, there is no love. It's only for pleasure, which makes it wrong.
But Emperor Georgie Girl, instead of eating eyeballs, would just be eating the. This is YouTube. Okay.
Guys, do me a favor, honestly. Help out that yesterday's Enterprise upload. It would mean a lot to me. It has more hours, about as many hours now as it took to take it. I would like to beat that. I would like to see this go and make an impact. And these kind of video essays that illustrate the way that this community sort of sees things is sort of, what I got the editing software to make. and I hope that we can do something with that. But I would like to see it move more. It's not YouTube isn't telling all of you. There's no reason that got nowhere near as many views as I have subscribers. And yeah, wow. Chrome tabs are crashing left and right with YouTube. JT, people are talking about it all over YouTube. Let's talk about this.
Yeah, so that's happened to be more times in the past 2 weeks than it's ever happened in the past.
Is it an anti-ad blocker strategy?
No, it's not.
I don't have ad blockers, and it's happening to me all the time.
It's not even activity based. So I've been chatting for the whole night sometimes, and then it will just time out and say,
get the snap thing.
Yeah, it will say snap. And then I'll refresh, and 20 minutes later it'll happen again, and I've made 20 updates. There is some kind of a timeout connection issue that YouTube needs to figure out. It's a bug. That's all it is. It's just a bug.
New though, it
is, but YouTube code is ridiculously complicated. And
well, what they need to do is roll back to before that started happening.
They always love changing things. And the more they change things, the easier it is to stop up the drain.
Yeah. If it was me over there, I would be like, roll it back to when this wasn't happening and do more research.
Well, if it were me over there, I would just say, can I have a setting that lets me set my chat to live chat by default? How many billions of clicks will that save?
I haven't had it happen today yet, though.
No, today I have not. Have you had it happen to you?
Maybe they fixed it.
As far as crashing,
well, actually, no, it won't.
My tab just crashed now, and this is on my most powerful computer.
Yeah.
Well,
if Buddy Hepburn says critical drinker streams are the ones that it does that to me all the time. And it's been happening for months.
I'll tell you why it happens. Like, it doesn't happen as much to me as it happens to someone who's bigger, and why it's not a priority to fix it. Whatever it is, it's showing a hell of a lot more freaking commercials.
Oh, I've seen those articles about the vaunted 1 hour commercial breaks. That's like a bug.
Oh, God.
Apparently, there's a bug out there where YouTube will just play an hour of commercials.
Oh my God!
Now,
but if I monetize this,
Premium,
people would.
So
if I monetize this,
won't hit me.
Sorry,
but go ahead.
I find with YouTube, I listen to it so much I need premium too. But if I had put on the AdSense every time it crashed, people's commercials would reset. And they would get hit with commercials again too. So
that's
you have there's no way to turn it on people in good conscience. At least I try to turn it off right before the show. During the week, I'm experimenting with leaving it on. By the way, guys, if you like this show, check me out on Tuesday and Thursdays at 7:30 p.m. Eastern. Go ahead.
Oh, Senior Critically Thinking and Drinking says on X, I want, nay, demand, Teague on the New York City streets randomly engaging his fellow citizens for my enjoyment.
On the 4th of July, I do a show from the roof of the building. This way I don't have to see people yet. Right? Could you imagine Admiral Teague out there actually seeing normal people?
I want to see you do like Man on the Street, where you ask questions like, what is your opinion of Star Trek, this episode of Star Trek?
Could you bring yourself to Times Square and ask about Section
Manic
31?
Star Trek street preacher?
Yeah.
Are you saying I'm insane?
In Times Square.
Go with
you're
a little
getting
microphone,
an emoji
put it in
storm
people's
from
face.
Critically Thinking. You've got a mojito, wine, martini, etc.
Go
When
right
I
up to
grew
people
up,
and say,
we had the
"Explain
best
why
written-
Kurtzman Trek is horrible." Go.
When I grew up, we had the best written, best performed, best transmitted Star Trek money could buy. I don't want to hear any more of this nonsense about how they're going to give us new, better Star Trek for a modern audience. We're going to take Star Trek back into the past and make it great again. we're not just going to hold our ground. We're gonna advance. We're gonna grab him by the belt and we're gonna kick him in the ass. Oh, Kurtzman. I'm laughing at the superior intellect.
You know, I gotta say that. So we've been talking about the YouTube crashes. I've noticed on Doomcock's streams, when he's streaming and you see his chat window freeze, he's using Firefox. He is not using Chrome. I think this is a YouTube thing. Yeah, it's not Chrome related.
I know, and of course, like the great overlord probably is ahead of us in trying different browsers already. So who knows, right? I don't know.
Well, he did. He moved out of Chrome. He moved over to Firefox not too long ago,
and it's happening anyway. Wow. Gee,
because you can see it. This is not a secret. You see it on the screen. It says Firefox on the
I heard that Firefox started out as a rejected version of Chrome anyway. So no. It's Chrome and it's very hard.
No, Firefox has lineage in Netscape Navigator.
Yeah, it was before Chrome.
Oh, that's what it was. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
It was a fight back against Internet Explorer.
I freaking had that.
All the way back to Netscape.
Yeah. Because Internet Explorer, Microsoft was trying to sell Internet Explorer, and Firefox came and said, "Oh, screw you! I'm going to make a better product for free."
Netscape had commercials during this episode of Enterprise, I'm sure.
Yeah, Netscape Navigator
and Lycos, right? Because there was no Google yet. Lycos becomes Google, right? Or are they one of the people they pick up on the way, or is that the root company? Who's
I don't remember.
And then we go through that weird thing where
were separate efforts.
And then
we're not brawling critically.
and then all the cell phone companies.
We're not brawling. We all agree that Brave is the best, right?
Right. I think Brave probably is like becoming like a much more well regarded and commonly used browser, and it might be the best. I will say this though. If you want me to go out in the street and engage with people, I need like a full like 2001 style spacesuit to keep my face hidden. So I don't think the Jets jihadists would go over very good in New York City. Do that down by Ground Zero. It's like a body was found in the river today.
Putin's cat has an opinion about IE.
Well, yeah, especially since it doesn't exist anymore. They have Edge now.
You could still compatibility mode back to IE8.
Can you?
Yes,
Putin's
you can.
Cat, good to see you, man. Welcome back. Buddy Hepburn says most are all Chromium based now, except for Safari, Firefox.
Well, I mean, just get a costume. Put a fake mustache on, or a beard, or do some cosplay stuff, and go out in a Starfleet uniform. Goes Captain Commodore Decker and. Should I have been destroyed? Did I make the right call? Shoving this thing down that thing's throat.
What will be hilarious is if you find somebody that can answer that question for you.
Oh, yeah.
He is somebody that I would have liked to have seen them bring back on the holodeck and talk to in that strategic situation.
Or Khan. I would love to see the Khan thing played back in the TNG era instead of the Kobayashi Maru. Play like that whole situation.
Wait, you mean like a no-win scenario where they have to solve that problem by doing that with Spock?
Like they need to know things about how a starship operates.
Actually, there was the episode of Next Generation season 7 when Troy wants to become a full commander and she has to take that test.
Oh, and Riker helps.
And and it turns out where she has to order Geordi to basically go on a no return mission.
Well, he F's her, and then he F's her enough times. He tells her all the answers and the answer sheet.
Yeah, he kind of hints her, but that kind of goes in what you're saying. It was he F's. No, that was a great episode. I liked that test. That was pretty cool. But you figure that would have leaked around. TNA
hire? The opposite of DEI hire.
TNA.
She was a TNA hire.
She was a CT hire. She was
Geordi, I feel your emotions. I know you're awkward with women, Geordi. She could use that doctor-client privilege. She could get in trouble for that even in the 21st century under the Van Gelder statute.
But imagine if it wasn't Riker doing the tests. Imagine if it was Picard doing the tests, and Riker had to passively watch on, Picard's like, so I hear you want to be promoted. And then Riker can't do anything. Yeah.
Well,
there's another channel on the internet that can explore that option. But,
you know what though didn't make sense about that though was Riker was a commander himself and going to promote someone to the same rank he was. I don't think that should have been a captain or higher.
Yeah, but what was really weird about that was Troy should have never been in the command structure to begin with, because if you look at a modern day military, you do have officer level positions like doctors or
she qualifies
clergy.
though, right? She has to
but
pass
she
the
would
same
be-
test as everyone else though.
But she would be in a doctor or clergy path where you could be, a captain at her level.
Sure.
And you would just be a captain in your
By rank
medical
only. Yeah, just like Scotty
chain
was
of
a
command.
captain.
Or yeah, which is why also when Dr. Crusher was in command of the Enterprise at one point, I think that was that Best of Both Worlds Part 2?
No.
I'm trying
It was
to remember.
I remember Card puts her in. It's in season 1 or 2. It's very.
But like she should have never been put in that spot, because just because you're a captain doesn't mean you're actually in command of the real ship, if that makes any sense.
Yeah.
I think Radioactive probably knows more about this than I do based on, things I could tell him. But there is an actual chain of command that you would have to execute things in this situation. And it would not be, the chief priest on the ship doesn't get to take over the second Picard expires.
No, right. But at least with Troy, she said, I want to pursue command. She wanted to get qualified for it. One episode.
Radioactive just said it. What I'm saying is Troy wasn't a line officer. Thank you.
No, she wasn't. She was supposed to be. They didn't know what they wanted her to be. It turns out that the most logical thing was that she wasn't a line officer. And then I guess what we figure out is off screen and unmentioned, she's been taking the Starfleet for Dummies and reading up on it's like for instance, you don't have to be top command quality to run the bridge on the Delta shift so that Riker can sleep in Picard's ready room his room is right next to that, and the conference room is next to that, if I'm correct. Isn't that about right, Sean?
Yes.
Do you know that?
But you know what?
Yeah.
Let me I'll put out a small little wrinkle in our discussion here. Think back to the show MASH with Colonel Potter was a doctor, but also in charge of the entire camp. He was the colonel of the camp. So he was both a doctor and a line officer. I know his character.
I remember this MASH lore.
But his character
first.
Huh?
I remember his MASH lore. The reason why Sherman T. Potter was regular Army and a doctor was he was regular soldier who fought in the cavalry in World War I.
That's where I was going. Yeah, he became a doctor later.
I liked that origin tale for him, and also a memorable comic role for him earlier. But that's still the story.
Yeah. But he was a line. He was he enlisted when he was 17, lied about his age, and then became a doctor at 40 years old or something. Which is a cool explanation. But I like Beverly as the command thing, especially with All Good Things. It kind of ties back to that episode, and she was the captain of the Pasteur.
She was such a good
She also has a great kill
officer
against the Borg.
She was
a good captain too. She was a good captain in that episode.
Well, she was such a good line officer that when they finally let her drive the ship in Star Trek Generations, her words, literally, they let me drive the ship and I crashed it. For years, they let everyone else drive the ship. They let the blind guy drive the ship. They let the kid drive the ship. And she legit was a sourpuss about it. If you watch the extras, because the first time they ever let her fly the 1701D, she crashes it.
No, that's not true. She flies it in Descent Part 2.
Tell her that then.
She's Captain in Descent Part 2, where she
Tell her
gets the
that
Borg.
then, Teague. Tell her.
But
I'm not saying
help
you're
me
wrong.
now that now I'm doubting myself. Help me out. Descent Part 2 is the one where Data gets emotions transmitted to him by Lore, and Lore has become the Hitler of the Borg. And they go there, and they're hanging out with Lore Hitler, and he's like, he gets Data to torture Geordi. And Data and Geordi have this crazy conversation and all this other shit. And while that's going on, there's another plot going on where everyone's trapped on a planet except Bev, and she's the captain, and she has them like do like a sun dive, like right out of Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy.
Yeah.
Skims the surface of the sun in coronal mass ejection. The Borg couldn't outthink Bev, the original girl boss, and I thought it was kind of a cool move. It didn't bother me that much because she'd seen enough on the job training to know how to fuck with people. She's like put in Borg avoidance pattern Picard Alpha. That ought to work, Like
That's a
you don't
neat
have to be a
trick,
genius to say, try Picard's evasive maneuvers. Those ought to work. He's got a bunch of protocols programmed in there. It's like protocol Locutus 4, full threaded torpedoes. So she gets that Borg ship, right? What did they get it from another alien species or something? What was with that weird Borg flying wing?
They had assimilated Paclids by accident. That's really the only thing I can think of that they were thinking like, oh, we're gonna go from a cube to this hideous ass ship.
Yeah, and
was it because they lost the ability to build correctly? It was just like it was now all asymmetrical because they lost their Borg abilities. Hey, it's the Phobos. Nice to see you.
It's
RTNZ has a good point here, where Crusher basically did the same thing that Kern did in against the other Klingon bird of prey. Basically, did the exact same maneuver.
Putin's cat. I appreciate the misspelling. Yeah, he is more like a cult leader. But the thing is, like, what was Hilter but a cult leader?
Well, they also, to be fair, in that chamber, they had on the floor, they had kind of a super soldier analogy, and also on the bunting that would lead you to believe that Laura was an Austrian painter. It's a weird episode. It's a weird two-parter. It really is.
You talking about Descent?
Yes.
I never cared for that one.
You know what?
I never liked it.
I like Descent only because I like stories about the guys who came between the second and the fourth. Well, I guess there is no fourth, but the guys after the Kaiser, but after the Weimar Republic, I always found them to be very fascinating to read about. They were definitively evil, and I condemn everything about them in every single way. But if you could tell me that those books and those stories aren't interesting, well, Steven Spielberg made a lot of money telling that story, as has a lot of other people. It's a great epic tale of humanity and man's inhumanity to man, and maybe a little bit of how important the photo and the moving image has been to curtailing this kind of brutality.
So I get that. You just said there were very fine people on both sides.
Yes, exactly. People will say I said that anyway, so why not? Yes, there were very fine people on both. If only they could have worked it out. Let me tell you something. I think they could have. You figure they could have negotiated. But yeah, Istophobos is right. By TNG, they had gone to having they were quasi-military. Here's the thing, though. That was deemed utopian by, like, the second movie, although we're getting kind of, like, into dirty water there. But, let's remember, the Galaxy-class cruisers were pretty experimental. There was only a few of them. There was, like, what? The Yamato blows right up. I'm assuming with all families. That must have been a conversation. It's like, we can't have too many ships like this. It's like, why? It's because, like...
They had another
didn't acknowledge it, but we killed like 800 family and 200 crew. That's kind of the way it goes with this ship.
They had one delete that was it the USS
Yamato.
Galaxy? That was
USS Yamamoto.
From the computer virus, right?
The Yamato. With
What
Captain
was the one that was
Donald.
destroyed by the Dominion then?
The Yamato?
The Yamato was destroyed by the Arconian Code overriding its programs.
Yeah, it was the
Yes. What was the one?
Admiral
the
Teague, look at
Iconian
Istaphobos
Code
is you got
We have the best shot here.
read this one.
Even
Oh, wait.
Beverly and Troy were better than Janeway.
Oh wait, no, this one here.
T-shirt idea. I'd rather be watching Sub Rosa. I would wear that T-shirt, and I would want. You know what would be a cool thing to wear? Like, I'm not saying I want one, but would be a fun thing to have if I had a replicator. They give them a different kind of Starfleet tunic, like one that I guess is made for like. They make the Starbase seem like a country club, and the guy who's head of Starfleet is telling Jim that the Enterprise being decommissioned in Star Trek 3 has one, and Scotty has one, and Kirk has one in 3. That Starfleet, like, snap front country club kind of tunic, you know the one I'm talking about? It's like, it's not really made of fleece, but it's kind of like the Starfleet cardigan.
Yeah.
I love that one.
Yeah.
I love that one. Scotty wears it all through Star Trek 3. Professor Scott is here to show you how to make transparent aluminum. The Yamato did it's self-kamikaze or whatever, or I guess there's no other way to kamikaze, but that's the safest word to use for that one, I think, right? It's culturally insensitive, but YouTube
don't
pushes us
say
in
the
that
K
direction.
word. Self-deletion is the best way to go.
Still the safest one.
The K word is.
I've even
throttle
seen
these days,
self-delete
too.
in titles of streams, so it seems to be more or less safe. But you know what? Let's think about this one. We just had quite a week and quite a month. I want to thank everybody for everything they did for the channel all through January, and we're gonna have an amazing month here in February. I think what I'm gonna do is to celebrate Black History Month, Deep Space Nine. Not on our show, but like I'm gonna do like a Deep Space Nine viewing for Cisco.
Sorry, Istaphobos has distracted me thoroughly.
This one?
Yes.
We have the emoji of that, but it's just like, it's really small, and I just don't know what else you would do. Like, you have a T'Pol emoji, you want her body in there, but it's really small. But, like, she looks hot. I mean, I might try to find another way to do it, but any way of resizing her, she would just be really teeny, teeny, tiny. It would be ridiculous. Yes, it means a divine wind. Yes, I knew that. Like many Japanese, it has been stolen to mean something different. Many Japanese words. Yes. Let's see. Yeah, I agree with that about the beaming up. Anyway, what is the next episode? Someone said it earlier, but I forgot.
A Night in Sick Bay.
All right. Yeah, that one's. What's the B plot on that one aside from Porthos is the A plot?
They offended the people that they need the warp coil or something from this race, and they keep offending them.
Yeah, this is where Archer gets his hair
that
beaded.
Archer actor before. Yeah, you know what? That one's not too bad, but like, wow, we are just throwing people subpar and like sort of mediocre and sort of formulaic stories as this show really needs to take flight. Should we have grandfathered some of those better episodes into this season? We haven't hit Fortunate Son yet, but this episode strayed dangerously close. If not for a great set and some real... Roxanne Dawson did a great job. This episode would have been a lot worse if it wasn't so well directed. The pacing on it was really good. And it's not going to get an upload. I don't think anyone thinks that this one is upload worthy. It's interesting. It's fun, but it's middling. It's not like like the top of the middle. I don't know. What do you guys think?
It's very average.
Yeah. And with StreamYards messing with us, I can make an upload for Yellowstone and get another part of the fandom engaged. And there'll be another member video, I guess, this week. And maybe this week I'll do a day to hang out. But tomorrow, We have Yellowstone here, which is going to be fun. I don't know. Before we give any final, do we want to give any more final thoughts before we split out of here? It's kind of like quick night for us, but why not? The Star Trek conversation has been amazing across three platforms. Sean, what are you up to?
Well, I'm going to be streaming on the gaming channel in about 35 minutes here to play a little GTA Vice City. So you guys are welcome to come on there and chat with me as I destroy the Vice City in the GTA. I will, I
loved that game. I played it a lot.
Yeah. It really shows its age. I'll tell you, man. But it's a retro game, so I'm going to play some of that. And if you guys want to come on, we can bring Radioactive in and have another fun chat again.
I'd love to
talk about we can have another data dump.
That would be fun, and we could continue some of the thoughts from here if we want to. And everyone has about a half hour before that one. All right, JT, what are you up and about? What are you about these days?
Well, Tuesday I'll be talking sports ball on Dad Been Walking 55's channel, and it should be a lot of fun. We're trying to branch out into hockey and maybe some rugby. The Six Nations rugby contest is full swing, and then Wednesday we'll be on Dave C's channel talking about the second issue of the 1977 Black Panther run. Issue number 1 by Jack Kirby was freaking fantastic. So looking to have some more fun reading that. I've never gone through the series before. Dave has. So I'm looking forward to it. Should be a real treat. And I hope everybody could join him. Thanks.
Yeah, I was cooking up an idea, something I could maybe do with Dave C here too. I was thinking there's Star Trek comics I'd like to get into with him. I had a fun time streaming with him both times, or all 3 times. He's fun. Guys, for me, again, I'll ask you for the same favor I asked you for before. If you can't, you got about a half hour between Sean's show starting. While you're getting something to eat, put it on and open up a browser. Check out my yesterday's Enterprise upload. Here's the thing. It's a really good video essay. It's not a minute longer than it needs to be. It's meaningful conversation. And I'm asking my channel members to help me with this one. All right? Maybe you didn't hear about it.
Get it out there. It's really a great essay, you guys.
Yeah, and you know what? When the other members of the panel endorsed it, like they did, like a lot of times, like I'd be like, "What did you think?" I was like, "Yeah, it was fine." Like this time, like they were pretty effusive, so I know they liked it. We did a good job on this one. You might be a little bit like taken aback that we set a different tone because when I set it up, I go with a real straightforward narrator thing. I don't know if I'm going to stick with it, but you know what? It seemed to be like for that episode, it was such a profound Star Trek episode. Like, I'm sort of in awe of the episode itself to the point that, like, it was just an honor to talk about it, that I think maybe I got caught up in that. Like, sometimes if I have a weakness, I'll start to swoon for Star Trek. So help out my upload. Give it as many likes as you can. Help it beat this dumb algorithm that snapped it off. This thing got 500, and I see a couple more likes layering on. I appreciate it. This thing got 500 impressions and 219 views. If you guys could give it a few more likes and just level it up a little bit more, it's got 13 now. 15 would be so much better. And you know what? Before we go, I'm going to be so bold as to finish our poll. I think that we owe people at least that much closure. Let's see. Here we go. So what grade did you give Dead Stop? 19 votes. This is scientific enough. A, 16%. That's not unfair. B, 37%. C, 26%. D, F, 21%. With 19 votes, I hereby close the polls. I
could understand
spread
those
for all
A
the
and B
yeah.
votes too. I could understand
I do
the A
too.
and B votes.
There's no undefensible grade on this one because honestly, part of me was trending towards a B because I'm like, we see an alien environment, and you know how that sometimes gets me going. It's like, oh, we got to see something different. We encountered a different like species. They didn't get explained, but it would have been better if they had. But you know what? Like, it would just be great. But what can you do? Different episodes have different appeals to different people, and on this one, like I can see the the part in it that's an F. And what's weird is, it roughly corresponds to what happened in our poll, as far as the numbers for the episode. If you look at it, like in my heart, I always say this one. It is like a 36% B, and like 26% of the episode is like a C.
Oh, I
and
see what you're saying.
21% of the episode is a D and an F. And then there is 15% A in there. Like, that actually is, if that was a pie chart of my heart, like, how does your heart feel about this episode? 15% was an A, which is not overwhelming. It still averages out to what I gave it. It's like, it's a D. But you know what? Like, everybody has a hill worth defending. Nothing crazy there. I'll be back tomorrow, and I think it's 6:30. Check it out, and I will be back with a 1883. I'll be back with an 1883 watch party for episode 9. We'll finally figure out how this wagon train gets to where it's going. Sean, did you do your channel ID?
Yeah. So when I went in there to share my Retro Reels and Games channel, it said share. I clicked on share, and then it said to get channel ID or get the link. I clicked the wrong thing. No, it's nothing.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Sorry,
so
I don't want anyone left out.
The second time it went okay.
Yeah, I pasted the correct thing later.
Okay.
But I like your analogy there. You're absolutely right. Like 15% of the show was an A. And so for people who give it an A, that's fine. That's the part they like, those parts the most, and they can look past
it's a fair
the
pie
writing
chart.
plot
Really
plot holes that are clearly there. But it's fine if those plot holes don't bother someone. I'd rather have everyone enjoy this than not.
And by the way, I want to thank the 2,147 of you who've joined us.
Very nice.
I salute
Thank
you all.
Thank you.
And all of you who've been welcomed into the community tonight by so many generous gifts. I really am overwhelmed by how much you guys have been kind to me. And honestly, what would have been otherwise an absolutely impossible month where life would have been an absolute disaster, you guys absolutely did make a difference in my life, and I thank you for it. And I thank you for not making me have to go out there and actually ask. Just your sheer generosity was so beautiful and so overwhelming. It really did make a difference. Like, it's a good thing. You know what I mean? Like, going out today, I'm overwhelmed by this one, and that's why I wanted to say Saving Star Trek is brought to you by the genius of Gene Roddenberry, the dedication of this panel that looks forward to every weekend. Guys, do you love coming to work here or what? Is this not the most fun thing in the world? It's not about numbers. This show's mission is about saving Star Trek. You know what? Our watch party might be bigger or smaller. Let's look down the road 3-4 weeks. Let's see what's bigger. I think that the Saving Star Trek is Next Generation's The Finest Tale will be the final say and will go over 1,000 views within 2 weeks, because that's the pattern here. And it's going. There is a steady demand for this episode, and this was one of the best conversations I've ever heard about it. So, watch parties are watch parties. We had our watch party. I'm very proud of our watch party. I'm proud of the conversation that was sparked around this episode. Not that Section 31 did it, but that that conversation existed. And by the way, I've been stopping at some other Star Trek stations, especially the ones that are tolerant of the newer Star Trek. They're doom scrolling the news. They're crying over politics. They're being all upset about stuff. So this English channel that's all upset about American stuff. Nice guys. I go there to talk to them, and one day I was there the other day. Nice guys, really, and they give good analysis on the new Star Trek as far as they know all the lore, right? Like, get it from them if no one else. But they were like, like one guy is eating on the air, and another guy is like yelling at me about about Orange Man bad, and then like I said, like, what does this have to do with Star Trek? And they're doom scrolling like the news, and like I was just like, one of them was like, you need to understand, and like one of them was a female, and she was like yelling at me, and she's like, where are you from, the South? And I said, New York City, and she's like, it seems like, she's like, yeah, Southerner, and I'm like,
Southern Queens, right? Southern Manhattan.
Yeah, South
Southern
Jamaica.
Manhattan. Yeah,
These guys know me, and they know, it's just like they've had me on their show, and it's like they've heard my New York accent. It's like, I realize it's slightly corrupted by the Boston accent, but it's not that bad. But listen, I digress. Listen, we're not going to fall prey to that. Is what I wanted to say.
The most fun place to be on a Saturday night, short of T'Pol and Hoshi beaming into my recording studio. Yes. Yes.
Oh God, I would even try the Voyager holodeck for a chance with T'Pol and Hoshi. It's the most dangerous holodeck in all of Starfleet, but I would even try that one. But before I go, Saving Star Trek is brought to you by the genius of Gene Roddenberry, the love and dedication of this panel, which works very hard all week for these shows, and the generosity of Star Trek fans like Ruby Hoove. RRTNZ, a second time, my man. Thank you so much. You are so kind to us. You are such a kind patron of this channel. Krimlon, who gifted us a total of 20 Admiral Teague memberships. My God. We're going to have to make a V'ger, everything. I'm making emojis all day tomorrow. The Dead Man. I don't want to miss anybody. Krimlon, JT Kirk, thank you very much, my friend. I'm so touched. The Dead Man, who gave us the best emoji of the night, or the second best, because the one that Miskatonic, I think, gave us, inspired the song. I have a pretty good pair song now, up there with anybody else's. And Radioactive, again, just so generous. Miskatonic with the super pair. What was it? Believe it or not, there's a flying pair. I'm on my way to a good enough song, guys. I have, gosh darn it, I'm smart enough to do a Star Trek show. I'm not the best, but The Dead Man, Radioactive, The Dead Man again, and RRTNZ, all very, very generous, with wonderful, generous, and difference-making super chats that make this a show that I can put on with a higher quality. A lot of this goes back into the show. Last month, going back into the show came from recovering from the 2.5 weeks without heat, without burning down my building to get a better outcome, as some people suggested. A little extreme on that one. We've never figured in, but wow.
I go a bit far in a few places, but
you know what? Stylistically, it's designed to be that way, but you know what?
Got away with it, didn't you? How dare you?
You know what? As far as we'll leave you with this thought, guys. We are sick and tired of these stupid auditions to be a real crime writer by doing crime on a sci-fi show that you don't want to write. Give us a sci-fi writer who wants to write sci-fi. Give us a writer who knows what they're doing. Give us, I don't know what to start with. How about maybe a captain that's a man? Anyway, we love all of you. Rant cut short. Listen, you guys have been great tonight, and thank you for all your generosity. I hope that I produced enough. I'm going to make a Yellowstone video this week, and then we'll be back with another great episode next week. I'm sorry that you missed some of the show. Putin's Kappa is very listenable, and you're the man. And check out the uploads, guys. Please try to help that upload. YouTube doesn't want people to see it. Let's see if we can't trick that algorithm into helping us out. And maybe we've been here long enough, but I wish you could see the quality of the video. If it's evergreen. If this doesn't take up, maybe I'll just have to show people some of it to convince you. My crew is convinced, and my video editing skills are getting there. So we thank you all, and I don't know. Should we leave them with Star Trek, or should we leave them with Sydney Sweeney?
Do it.
Do it. Oh.
We're all getting a turn here.
There we go. We were all over Sydney Sweeney like a cheap suit. That's right. Sean rescues it with a joke, man. You are fucking killing it. All right. Sydney Sweeney takes us out. We love you guys. We'll see you all next week. And I'll be back on Tuesday night at 7:30 U.S. Eastern Time. And my guest will be the guy from the Scarif podcast. He's Scarif, Always Sunny on Scarif on X. If you've ever seen him, he's a great shit poster and a great thought-provoking poster. Does both. So our approach of having people from X on here to sort of bring the two things together continues to really work out. And as I look over at X, I see JT Peace from our buddy Quickly Thinking Drinking. Peace back to you. And wow, considerable amount of views there too. We thank all of you. We love you all. And hey, Sydney Sweeney takes us out. We'll see you over at Retro Reels and Games in just a little while.
Kirk here.
Spock here, Captain.